Welcome, 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 everybody. If everybody could grab a seat, we are going to get kicked off. So welcome to everybody that is here live in Kansas City. We've got close to 1,000 people here inside, and I want to extend a special invitation to everyone on the live stream with over 300 locations all across the United States. You know, for those of you that were streaming live earlier, you saw a lot of news articles over the last few minutes. Things about the U.S. economy, about how inflation has been run rampant over the last year to year and a half, about how families have record debt because they're dealing with inflation. And now, because of the Fed's policy, we are starting to see increased numbers of unemployment, where every day it's another employer laying off more employees. And so there are some of you tuning in live tonight that are obviously concerned. You're going, what does the future hold for me and my family? If we're strapped with debt, we're struggling to save for retirement, we're not sure about what our jobs might look like over the next 6 to 12 months. You are obviously concerned. And what I want to share with you is that was me when I saw the same information that you're going to be exposed to tonight. I was on the precipice of losing my job, and I was looking for where was the next career path going to come from. And somebody invited me to an event just like this. I just happened to come live to Kansas City. And what I saw changed my life forever. You see, there are some of you right now on the live stream going, hoping and praying that somewhere, somehow, there's a solution, not just to your personal financial struggles, but also to your career. Where you're going, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck, hoping and praying somehow, some way, my family's going to make it. You're concerned about the fact that there's too much month at the end of the money. And you're going, where is the hope going to come from? Tonight, you're going to receive that hope. Tonight, you're going to be exposed to the largest, most dominant financial services company in the industry that is changing the industry one family at a time. That is teaching families how to take back control of their finances, but also how to take control of their future. And there is nobody better to talk to you about that vision than the gentleman I'm about to introduce. You know, Shane Rudman is the leader of leaders. For many, many years, he has been the reason that our company has grown at the pace that it has, and that we have the services and the products and the ability to help families the way that we do. You know, he was listed on the top 10 entrepreneurs under the age of 30 with a guy named Michael Dell of Dell Computers. And without question has been one of the most impactful people in the history of our company. Now, in a few minutes when he comes up here, you're going to see that he wears shades. And you might say, why is he doing that? It's 7 o'clock at night. What I need you to understand is that unfortunately, Shane for a long time dealt with a serious brain disease. And because of that, he has to wear shades today. But because of COVID and our ability to go virtual with our businesses, Shane was able to get back after it. And for the last few years, he's been the impetus of helping to drive our company forward, to again become the innovator that he's always been, and to push our company to continue to improve what we do for families and to improve on our opportunity. And so there is nobody better to walk you through exactly what we can do for those of you tuning in live today, both personally, financially, but also for the right kind of person that's looking for a career change than the great Shane Rudman.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. And I'm sure Eugene, I can't hear from backstage, but I'm sure Eugene welcomed everyone from all 50 states across the country that happen to be plugging in. It is so exciting that because of our, at the time was 44-year track record, we had built enough of a reputation with all the regulators that when COVID hit and the world shut down on March 12, 2020, we were able to work with the regulators to allow us to change the laws, financial laws, in a good way that would allow us to do things through technology across state lines that you legally could not do beforehand. And that is allowing us to grow extremely fast. And so it allows us to have people joining us from all around the country. And, you know, you may have been, by the way, I will say this, right at the very beginning, you have a really good example of the wide spectrum of folks that have success at what we do. Eugene, who just kicked things off and introduced me, graduated from Harvard, MBA, law degree, six-figure income before he learned about our opportunity. But it happened to be in an industry that was changing, and he did not know how long that career would be there for him. And he made a decision to look at what we were doing so he could kind of control his own destiny. So you have a young Harvard attorney MBA right there, and then you have me, and you'll learn more about me tonight, but a college dropout from Western Kansas that after 2.5 years of full-time college accumulated 27 credit hours. On the education spectrum, that's a pretty wide span, right? And then we've got everything in between. Those of you that are joining us through an invitation online, you've been invited by somebody to see an opportunity, okay? And it could have been for you specifically, they wanted you to see the opportunity, or they may want a partner, spouse, significant other, a parent, some influential person that's important to them in their life. They want you to tune in and hear firsthand from us about the opportunity that they're excited about taking advantage of. And they know they wouldn't have the credibility to communicate to you what they would like us to communicate to you. So what I'm gonna do here at the beginning is give you a 30,000-foot flyover. And we do this in our interviews with our company before we ask a whole lot of personal questions. I mean, we're in the money business, and if you're dealing with millions of dollars of somebody else's money, we gotta ask a lot of questions about you. We gotta do background checks. We gotta do all kinds of things to make sure you're not gonna run off with the money. But before we ask you all those questions, I've learned it's just better if I can give the flyover of the current opportunities that we have available, the big picture flyover. And I want you that are tuning in from home, some of you driving down the road, but don't tell anybody else that. while you're watching. Wherever you're at, some of you have a group of people together at your house or an office that you're tuning in. I want you to understand right up front, sometime in the next few minutes, what I say is going to sound too good to be true. Okay? You're going to go, oh my goodness, that's got to be a stretch. Stay focused. I don't get very much time with you. So grab your brain by the nape of the neck and pay attention. Don't let your mind wander. Don't start Googling and getting focused on Google and miss 15 seconds of the most important part of your business life, because it's happened. So when you have that thought, I should start Googling because it just sounds too good to be true, stay focused, all right? There's question and answers sessions. We'll answer anything for anybody out there. If you're sitting in a group, you'll be able to do that. We have breaks throughout the weekend. All those kinds of questions can get answered. One thing I love about being in the money business is money is simply math. Math is a science, and science is based on facts, okay? All the facts we talk about can be Googled in 30 minutes to 45 minutes, not right now. Take your notes, okay? I also want you to know I'm going to really get moving more quickly here in a second, and it's going to start feeling like you're taking a drink from a fire hose. This is not designed for me to gather information from you. This is designed for us to get as much information in your hands as quickly as possible for you to be able to make an educated decision about wanting to learn more or plug it into what we do. Facts are important, and I'm going to cover a lot of them, okay? People are far more important. And you're going to have, our people are what makes our company so unbelievable. And you're going to hear in a few minutes from a couple that been in the business 3 or 4 years, football coach, and a substitute school teacher, a graphics design person, I think that's what she did. Their combined income, they were 25, 26, 27 years old when they learned about our company. They were making $36,000 combined, and they now make over $400,000 a year with us, well on their way to $1 million a year of income. And you're going to hear in an abbreviated version their story, because our people are more important than facts, and you're going to get to experience an incredible couple. You're going to be able to hear from both of them. I encourage you to look at this information 2 ways. The person that invited you wants to look at it 2 ways. First of all, yourself, how it would affect you, how your brain works about the opportunities that we have available. But I want you to be thinking about who do you know. Because the biggest economic reward in our firm at this point, as we're expanding, is really as a headhunter. Those that will find people that are interested in the some of the opportunities or one of the opportunities that we have available. And I'm going to give you an actual example of how that works in a minute. But that's the largest economic opportunity at the moment. So look at it, not just you, but who do you know, all right? People have 3 major questions when they're checking anything out, but for sure, when they're checking out our opportunity, these are the 3 questions they ask. Is this thing really for real? Come on. You're already talking about making $1 million a year. It's already doesn't seem real. Is it really for real? You, after the first hour that the online audience this is geared for, you will have a lot of information. You'll be able to Google all the information. And before tonight's out, that will be answered for you. And you will go, this is beyond for real, okay? You will then have fear strike you because you won't be able to kind of look down your nose. You won't be able to go, is this one of those things? And you'll be in a position you're going, this is a chance for generational wealth for our family. And then fear strikes you going, but can I do it? Can somebody like me that comes from where I come from do it? And you're going to see that everybody from every walk of life is having success at what we do. Once you get those two things answered, which if you're here with us live, and if you just tune in for one more hour tomorrow morning, you will go, I can do it. You're going to see somebody that's from your background that you believe you might be just a little bit better than, that's already making $1 million a year at what we do. And your belief is going to go up, okay? Then the third thing that people ask is the price I'm going to pay going to be worth it? If this is an industry I don't know anything about, I'm going to have to learn, I'm going to have to make sacrifices. You don't make $1 million a year. Do it. It's not something for nothing. Trust me, it ain't something for nothing. You're going to have to work, okay? You're going to have to work on yourself. You're going to have to pay a price. But it is beyond worth it. We make sure you keep your priorities in order. We don't want you to make a mistake. Our company, we're a publicly traded company. You'll learn more about, and I can stand here at a publicly traded company and say our philosophy, what we believe in, is having your faith first, your family second, and your finances third. People become better people being plugged in to our training and our environment, all right? But we are all at the right place at the right time. That's the biggest reason I'm standing here right now, and I'm getting ready to talk a lot faster because I got a lot of stuff to get to you, all right? We're at the right place at the right time. A fancy word for right place at right time is synchronicity. If you look up synchronicity in Webster's dictionary, it is the simultaneous occurrence of events which appear significantly related but have no causal connection. It looks like they're all communicating. They're all must be working together, but they actually don't even know each other exists. It is unbelievable. If you talk to one of Eugene's Harvard or MIT mathematicians, they would tell you what you're going to experience tonight is a 1 in a billion occurrence. If you're a believer, you'll say it's divine intervention. I personally believe both of those are correct. All right? And I encourage you tonight, and then when you're Googling on your own, look for the synchronicity in the facts because it is unreal where we're at, okay? Big reasons that we're at the right place at the right time. COVID accelerated everything 25 to 30 years. You'll start to get an understanding of what that is. Today, the most credible third-party experts predict we will dominate the world's largest industry. Yeah, you heard me right out there. Dominate the world's largest industry. That's where a lot of people start to lose their train of thought. Sounds too good to be true. He was pretty emphatic about that. You're going to find out that's the case. Keep paying attention, all right? We're still the best kept secret in America. It is absolutely amazing, even though we are predicted to dominate, 95% of the population has not even heard of our company yet. When I'm interviewing people one-on-one lately, and I tell them the name of our firm is Primerica, virtually nobody, doesn't mean anything. Their face doesn't change through Zoom, right? Nothing happens. They don't even, it doesn't register, right? And it's because we spend no money on advertising. The money that we save there, we pass back through a much better valued product and service for the American consumer. And we don't have to spend the money on advertising. If somebody has heard of us, usually because they read about us in Business Week, Newsweek, Fortune, Forbes, all the third-party stuff. My daughter and I, when we went public, we were on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange as we rang in the bell, going public. Yeah, that was me without a beard, right? Okay. We went public the same year Tesla did, and we wound up being the #1 performing IPO in the wealthiest economy in the world, and Tesla was #2. Okay? How people are working for money is changing, and changing rapidly. It's a big reason, right place, right time, okay? This is March 2022, so just over a year ago. Fortune headlined the Great Resignation, or it's not the Great Resignation, it's the Great Rethink. It says we are all rethinking our relationship to work and how it fits into our lives. And everybody did that during COVID. True or false? Okay? Everybody was doing that. I want you to, this is the first time you got to pay attention to not just yourself. Everybody was doing that. Everybody you know has been doing that and is doing that, okay? The Wall Street Journal, just this last November, more workers get side hustles to keep up with rising costs, talking about inflation. They said nearly 3/4, bottom line, 75% of the US population is actively seeking extra income or a complete career change. 81% of Gen Z, 77% of millennials. Never in history have 75% of the people you know been actively looking. Not just open, actively looking, all right? Fortune, just this last February, right? 60 days ago. The Great Resignation is now the Great Regret. 80% of job hoppers wish they hadn't quit. It said over 60% of job seekers, okay, have been looking for 6 months or longer. Many applying for 50 different jobs and are still not employed. And 2023 is going to get a lot worse, okay? Morningstar, they're the leader in unbiased research. If you're in the investment business, and don't Google them yet, but you can Google in just a bit, Morningstar, they're the most credible third-party rating agency in the investment world, okay? And their CEO recently was quoted as saying, Primerica will be as disruptive to the financial services industry as Amazon was to the retail industry. Now think about this. 25 years ago, a lot of you weren't alive out there yet, right? Weren't born yet. But 25 years ago, for those of us that were around, somebody came to you and said, hey, there is going to be a company you've never heard of before that is going to put 100 of the largest companies in the United States in the retail industry into bankruptcy. They're going to start tearing shopping malls to the ground, putting parking lots or apartment complexes in their place. And that's going to happen because this company you've ever heard of, they're going to deliver everything to your front door for less than you could get in your car and run down to Walmart or Kmart or Target and get it. You would have thought that's nuts. But if you'd invested $10,000 into Amazon 25 years ago, it's worth over $16 million today. Now, this is not a solicitation for our stock. We are a publicly traded company. We're in the most regulated industry in the world. I'm not telling you to buy our stock. In fact, I'm telling you, don't buy our stock. That's not the purpose of showing you 10,000 to 16 million. The purpose is to get you to understand what somebody has invited you to that you have the opportunity, no matter what your background, to be on the ground floor of. Because that's just in the retail industry, 10,000 to 16 million. The industries we're in are many dozens of multiples bigger than the retail industry. And we're predicted to dominate it. Why? Why does the leader and unbiased research say that? Simply due to the fact that we were perfectly positioned for a post-COVID economy. We had spent 45 years, it was really 44 when it first happened, I clicked over 45, building and perfecting our hybrid economic model, okay? We had identified the three major positives and negatives of each economic model, of which there are five. There's corporate America, everybody knows what that is, right? There's start your own business from scratch, control your own destiny. Unfortunately, over 90% fail by the third year, according to the Small Business Administration. There's the franchising model. You can pay a couple $100,000, a couple $1 million to buy a franchise, buy somebody else's name, be able to use their name, use their image, use their systems to sell their products, and pay them every month for the rest of your life for the opportunity to do that. But at least you own an income stream. So that's one. Then there's multi-level marketing or network marketing that, all of us have a parent or grandparent that's got a garage full of crap that was involved in one of these things, right? 99% of the stuff in that industry is, I'm trying to think of a word I can say, on a church campus to a public audience. Dishonest is what will. The majority, it's a scam. Most everybody knows it's a scam. They're all located in Utah because the laws allow them to do what they're doing there. They can lie, mislead, do all kinds of stuff. And the average length of the most well-known ones is only 6 years, okay? So most people know they're not a valid opportunity in most cases. But this is what's amazing. Post-COVID, millions of additional people have been joining network marketing companies than they were before COVID. You interview them, they know it's probably not for real. They know they're probably not gonna make any money. They could ruin their reputation, damage relationships in their family. But you go, so why then? Start part-time, from home. Probably won't make any money, but it might. That's there. So there are some positives, evidently, right? But that's one. And then there's the brokerage model that most real estate, insurance, and investments is sold through in the United States of America, okay? What we did was we took the three biggest positives and eliminated the three biggest negatives. We spent 45 years doing it and got it done right when somebody said, let's have a plague in the world and send everybody home. And then while everybody was home, all these big financial magazines and the experts started interviewing all the people to find out what they're thinking and rethinking. And in all the polling, everything they said they wanted is what we had. And we spend no money on advertising, but we have what everybody already wants, okay? It has made us the center of the financial universe. Hear us in the middle, all these companies around us, you've heard of many of them, you've seen many of them. They have a very specific contract with us. I'm gonna use one just to give you an idea of how those contracts work, all right? Rocket Mortgage. Most people have heard of Rocket Mortgage, and most people either have a mortgage, know somebody has a mortgage, they can relate to a mortgage, all right? Okay? Apples to apples, any of us, if it's apples to apples, we cannot get a better mortgage than getting a mortgage from Rocket Mortgage. Economies of scale, the way they harness technology, okay? What they did, They just they built a better mousetrap. So it's the best place you can get it. The only way you can get a better deal than going directly to Rocket Mortgage is to go through us to the back door of Rocket Mortgage, because they had to sign a contract with us that our clients could get a better value than clients that even went directly to Rocket. And people say, why would they do that? Why would they do that? They know a heck of a lot more about the financial world than you do. They know we are the Amazon of the financial world. They know if they don't get in that category with us, they do not want to be competing against us and be one of those top 100 retailers called Sears, JCPenney's, or all the other ones you want to name that are into bankruptcy. Right? That's why. All those companies are that way. To give you an idea of the big picture of the size of the economics in our market, this is how the average American spends their money, spends a paycheck, okay? On average, 25% goes to mortgage, housing, rent, okay? 20% goes to consumer debt, 15% to taxes, 10% to various insurances, 10% goes to living expenses, 10% goes to savings, 5% goes to entertainment, 5% goes to food. Let's just use the 5% that goes to food. There are multi-billion-dollar companies built on capturing only 1% of the 5%. There are thousands of financially successful companies in the food business. We deal with their mortgage, with some person's mortgage, debt, taxes, insurance, savings. 80 cents of every dollar can flow through our company, and it gives us an incredible advantage over the competition, and one of the biggest factors to predicting we're going to dominate the largest industry in the world, okay? Use an example again, the mortgages, okay? If you're going to go get a mortgage, by law, you're going to go to a mortgage broker or a mortgage banker. And by law, they can't get paid to do anything other than that mortgage. So they have to make all their money off that mortgage. Because we are in a situation to be able to do everything, we can charge less on the mortgage and less in every other area. And because we can make money on 80% of it, we can do it less in every area than the competition. It is unbelievable, the situation that we're in. I didn't have time to put this together. You can go Google it, look it up. Most trusted financial companies. I wish this was like Zoom and I could see you, thousands of people out there, see your face, get your attention. How much we spend on advertising? Squadoosh. Nothing. And in the latest survey taken in America, we were named the most trusted company in the industry. And we spend nothing on advertising. You can find that. I had the little seal and all that. Didn't have time to get it put together, okay? So, but we're the most trusted company. That's all I'm going to say about how we help people with all the financial areas to save time. There is a wall of wealth coming. The largest movement of money in the history of mankind is beginning to happen, all right? And it has created the greatest economic opportunity of our lifetime that we are predicted to dominate. Those of you that are out there, I want you to ask us, we're only going to give you about 1 second to think about it. You need to understand the size of what a big number is, and you got to have a little bit of a concept before you can understand the size of our market. Understanding large numbers, if I asked you 2 million seconds ago, how old were you? And I've asked this hundreds of times, And every time I do, people look at me like a puppy dog that has the squeaky sound and their head turns sideways, right? They're like, I don't know. Because they don't know, right? It's hard to even think about. That was 3 weeks ago. If I then ask, how old were you 2 billion seconds ago? Change one letter. How old were you? People will say, I'll bet you that was 10 years ago. That was 63 years ago. 2 trillion seconds ago, 63,000 years ago. We're in a multi-trillion-dollar industry that we are predicted to what? Dominate. Predicted to what? Dominate. Predicted to dominate. Trillions. I'm going to fly. There is 123.6 trillion invested in the United States, and we will prove to you that tune in tomorrow why all 123.6 trillion is better off invested through us to the options that we provide, and the experts agree, and all that money needs to be moved. We have 0.063% of that market share, by the way. Start to summarize here. Getting wealthy in our country is primarily about one thing, all right? It's about being at the right place at the right time. Throughout history, there are thousands, sometimes millions of people that are at the right place at the right time. I use Apple Computer all the time. When Steve, right? Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak took that little Apple I computer to the Brew Club just outside of San Francisco, there was a couple hundred people in there when they described it. And Steve talked about what it was going to do. All them people were at the right place at the right time. Yes or no? Yes. Most of them did nothing, okay, and missed it, okay? They at least were in the industry. When you interview people that are at the right place, the right time, generational wealth kind of right place, right time. When you interview them about why they didn't take advantage of it, most of the time it's because they didn't recognize it. They didn't know they're at the right place, the right time. It was in an industry or something that they knew nothing about, and just because they were at the right place, right time, it was impossible for them to recognize it, okay? Next, even if you recognize it, you have to take action. And so when you find out that they recognized it, they believed it was a chance to create generational wealth for their family. Why they didn't do it? Why didn't they take action? Fear. They were afraid of making a mistake, okay? A bonus would be is if you were with the right people that could help you recognize it, answer every question to the nth degree, give you all the third-party things, everything you wanted, allow you to do research, give you volumes of stuff, let you go to talk to all the other companies, all the regulators, do all of that, help you recognize it. And then what would be really good is if they would help you take action by designing a part-time training program around your current work schedule. So if you were a fireman, you could stay a fireman, and they could just have you go through a part-time training program until you were making more with the company than you were as a fireman. Then you could walk away into something without taking a big risk. That is what we do. One of the things that they write about of why we are dominating and we are on the front end of the largest explosion of any company within our industry, which is many times larger than any other industry, is because we recruit from the markets we serve. We have engineers that help engineers. We have school teachers that help school teachers. We have every walk of life helping every walk of life. We have college dropouts helping college dropouts. When you're doing your Googling, some of you already doing it, I know. Once you heard I couldn't see you in your house, or down the road, you started Googling. When you go Google, one of the things you'll come across, Inc. magazine. Want to make millions? Here's the 16 industries you ought to start a business or go to work within if you want some kind of upward mobility, have some kind of a future. Number one, financial services. You couldn't make this stuff up. Number one, financial services, the industry we're predicted to dominate, all right? This, in 60 seconds, helps you understand Right Place more than any other thing. With 2% market share in June of 2021, okay? Here's where we were at. This is what we had developed. We had already developed over 8,000 people that were making between 50 and 100,000. Over 4,000 people that were making between 100,000 and $1 million. We had 119 people that were making over $1 million a year. In order to get just 10% market share, many experts believe we can get 40 to 60% market share. Go, no companies have that. Yeah, Microsoft has 96. Apple didn't even have phones 15 years ago, and they have over 50% of the phone market, right? There's a lot of companies, if they're the dominant players, that do. One of the commitments of me coming back to work was to help to put the systems where we took the best of our past and merged it with the current technology of today to build a much better future and get to that 10%. To get to 10% market share. It's simple math, folks. This is not opinion. You can have an opinion, but it don't matter. Okay? It's the facts. It's math. We have to develop 32,000 more that make between 50 and 100. We have to develop over 16,000 more to make 100 to $1 million. And we have to develop about 500 more that will be making between $1 million and $5 million or $12 million a year at that time. When I said, don't think about just you, who do you know? The biggest economic opportunity is finding people that are interested in the opportunities that we got available. I'm going to give you more of an example of that in just a minute. If we were only looking for 2 more folks, wouldn't be that great if you were going to be a headhunter for us, right? But we have 16,000 more to make 100,000 to $1 million. There's an incredible opportunity. We're at the right place at the right time. That's why I'm up here screaming, spitting, trying to reach people out there in the other 50 states, because I feel ethically and morally bound. I've died. When I say I've died, I've died. I've been dead. I've been to the other side. I know how great it is, okay? It's unbelievable, all the things you hear, okay? But I lived for a reason. It's to be here to help people understand, to take advantage of the moment that we're in, okay? I'm going to fly through that. Look, we could give you, these are all the different people that make between 100,000 and over $1 million, all the different backgrounds. It's every walk of life. Nearly 60% are young women now that are joining our firm that are going over 100,000. Diana, okay? She committed to come and do this for us as soon as she went over $1 million in income. So I put this on here just in case somebody that knows her is out there. She'll be she just went over 900,000 income. She'll go over $1 million in income for her little baby there and her mama. She was a traveling nurse, okay? I now want to introduce to you an incredible couple that you get the opportunity to hear from. Don and Bree McNeil. He was a football coach and a substitute teacher, okay? When you're an assistant football coach and substitute teacher, not getting the full pay of the teaching part, that ain't a lot of money, trust me. You're buying into a dream that you want to be a head coach at some point, kind of thing. But that's where they were at in their mid-20s. And I think Bree was in graphic design. She'll share with that more about what that was. 26, 27 years old. Their combined income was $36,000 4 years ago. And just after their third year, they went over $400,000 in income. With that. And like I said, the facts are great, Monty, math, science, facts, and I was going to throw a lot at you. The people's more important. Those of you that are out there, listen to these newlyweds and a little bit about their story and the decisions they've made, and I think it'll make more of an impact than the last 35 minutes of information I threw at you. So give a big round of applause to Dawn and Bree.
Well, look, we're excited to be here. We're going to share a little bit of our story with you tonight, just so that you can kind of hear, what it was like for us for these first 4 years. But 4 years ago, Don and I were both working 2 jobs. He was a coach and a substitute teacher, and I was a graphic designer and a marketing coordinator. And of course, you could assume that we were working 4 jobs because we weren't making enough money. So we needed a little bit more money coming in. And we'd just been invited to a big event. It was January of 2019. And I got off from work and I met Don in the parking lot of his high school. He just finished up football practice with the kids. And we had our suitcases packed. We put it all in the car. And at that time, you guys, the car that we were getting into was not the best at all. I mean, the back door was duct taped shut. It had a few dents and dings in it. But, I mean, it did what it needed to do. It got us from point A to point B. And we loaded up our stuff in that car. We didn't have any gas, really. We didn't have the means to get where we were going. But the guy that was trying to recruit us into Primerica at the time, he gave us $100 worth of gas money to get down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to that Fast Start school. And we were going to an event just like this one. And we went down to that event, and we stayed in the back room of my mom's house. The next morning, we woke up and we went and had breakfast with Derek at his hotel for free, even though we didn't stay there. Don't tell anybody. But we were excited. We were so excited. And our journey in the business has been very, very makeshift. And we were excited at that time about the possibility of doing something new, something different. And I mean, did it seem risky? Absolutely. But so did staying in the same position for a longer period of time. So we had to weigh our options against us. And our journey from the beginning started off a little rocky, you guys. When we got to that event, we sat in the back of the room looking at people go across the stage that looked just like us, but they were living a different reality. And I mean, we're sizing them up. We're saying, man, they can't be that much better than us. There's no way they're making that amount of money and we can't do the same thing. And we're looking at each other and we're game planning. We're game planning on what we could do when we left that room. And we looked at each other and said, you know what, this does sound crazy. It's something that we've never done before, but it might just be so crazy that it works. What if it works? And I got up and I went to find Derek and I said, hey, coach. I said, what do we have to do to be successful? He said, well, first you got to get an IBA and you got to pay your $124. And now you know we didn't have money to get to the event in the first place. We didn't have gas money. And it's 2 of us. So it's not 124, it's 248. But something that I'd seen in that event fired me up. And I said, you know what, let's do it. And I found an old credit card, you guys. We paid both of those IBAs, and we said, look, let's bet on this thing. It might just be so crazy that it works. And 1 week later, we're in licensing class. A week after that, we both have our state licenses. The first month, we made $1,400 part-time. Month after that, we made $5,800. And guys, after that, the rest is history, but we got off to a rocket fast start.
And when Brianna talks about that rocket fast start, I want you to understand that we didn't trust Primerica, okay? And so every dollar that we made in our business, we saved it because we started part-time. I'm a substitute teacher, she's a graphic designer. And so we saved every single dollar because I thought, like, if the authorities come after us, we got all the money, so they can't take us. We just give the money right back. And we got a phone call, guys, 2 months in the business from a guy named Bill Whittle. And Bill Whittle makes $4 million a year. And he said that we're on pace to be the most valuable player of the next event. And when I hung up the phone, I said, Bree, I think the money's real. Bill Whittle just called me and said we're MVPs. And when we found out the money was real, guys, we started spending money like you can't believe. Guys, it was lobster and crab every night. Man, I even tried to order zebra, but it wasn't on the menu. I'm telling you, every meat you could imagine. And guys, not managing our money had us we fell short for our bills about 2 months after that because we treated this business like a hustle instead of an actual business. But guess what? I was so excited because $1,000 day in this company is tomorrow, right? It was like the movie Annie. Y'all ever seen Annie? It was like tomorrow, right? I knew that we could just set an appointment and make $1,000. Guys, 3 months after that, we opened an office in Monroe, Louisiana as regional leaders in this company. Right? And 3 months after that, we accepted our regional vice president promotion where we were getting paid 110% in this incredible business.
Guys, and as regional vice presidents, look, it was 12 months. It took us 12 months to get to regional vice president in the business, and we won our first company trip. And when I tell y'all we were so excited, it was to the Bahamas, so we got to go out of the country. And at that point, we were at $35,000 in income. And I'll tell you one thing, $35,000 on your own time is always better than $35,000 on somebody else's time. So we were excited. We were excited about that. Look, there's freedom that's attached to that. There's pride and there's potential that's attached to that. And when I tell you we were so excited, we're like, man, look at what we did. We made $35,000. Like, who can top that? And so when we get to that trip, we walk in and we're feeling like the biggest people in the room. We're like, man, there's nobody bigger than us at the company. And we walk in only to be set in the back of the room again, just like we were at that Fast Start school. We were table number 200 out of 200 against the back wall, because we hadn't made it to the front of the room yet. The front of the room was reserved for the $1 million earners, the $700,000 earners, the $300,000 earners. And do you hear what I'm saying? The incomes, you guys? So Primerica has a way of stretching your vision even more to say, hey, that 35,000 could be 35 million if you apply yourself. So we wanted to get to work as fast as we could. We were sitting in the back of that room, mad and impressed all at the same time. We wanted to get home and get to work as fast as possible. And so we're sitting there once again looking at those people go across the stage, and we realize they look just like us, but they're living a different reality. And there's only one thing separating them from us, and it's that they took advantage of the opportunity and they took it a little bit further than we did, but we can get there if we keep going. And so it was just like 2019 when I was deciding whether or not to put those IBAs on that credit card. And what I was thinking at that time, you guys, was, do I stay where I am or do I move forward? I'm looking back at my current situation and I'm looking forward at where I could be. And so I'm doing the same thing in the Bahamas. And Don and I look at each other and say, hey, let's take another step forward. So we leave the Bahamas and we go home and we double our work ethic. Because remember, you can't do the same thing and expect different results. 1 month later, in March of 2020, we go over $50,000 in income. So that meant we made $15,000 in 1 month, which was the most we'd ever made in our lives in income. Guys, 2 months after that, we went from $50,000 to $100,000 in income in May of 2020, which meant that we made $25,000 over the last 2 months back to back. Guys, after that, we went on to grow our income to $400,000 by February of 2022. It took us 4 years to get there, but it took us 1 day to make a decision. A decision to go forward and not backward. A decision to bet on us and take a chance at something great. A decision to get a license, help families, make a little money on the side, and maybe grow a business. And grow a business we did, because now we have over 200 licensed agents in our hierarchy across the United States. And guys, it all started from 2 unlicensed and unqualified people who sat in the back of the room and said, what if it's so crazy that it works? What if it works for you? And what if it working for you puts you in position to bless your family? We dreamed about it and then we took action. We moved forward understanding that our future lay right before us and that it was tied to our ability to learn a new trade and just be good at it. Our growth was connected to our coachability and our willingness to adapt. And we understood, guys, that we might fail, but if we got back up, at least we had a fighting chance. We understood that we were a graphic designer and a football coach that were doing something out of the ordinary. We knew that it looked odd. We knew that people might not support us. We knew that people would quit on us along the way. We knew we might have to start over again and again and again or do it again, however, whatever it took. But we looked at each other in that moment and we said, so what? What if it's so crazy that it actually works? And we applied ourselves.
Most people ask us, how do we guarantee our success? And the truth is that all you can do is all you can do. But all you can do is enough. And one of the things me and Brianna would suggest for all of you to do, and even those that are viewing on the live stream, we suggest that you create a reward system for yourself in this business. Most of you are going to start part-time. So therefore, your reward system is whatever you do in the business, reward yourself afterwards. So Brianna has this thing where she loves popcorn. And she passed her investment license, and I got her a 5-pound bag of popcorn. I mean, one of those things, guys, where there's butter everywhere, you know, it's in a plastic bag. She takes the bag out this movie theater. But guess what, guys? That was our motivation, the little things. It was paying off an extra credit card. It was eliminating debt. It was buying popcorn. It was going to the movie theaters. It was bowling alley money. And we weren't spending majority of what we were making. We were just doing something small. And so I would say join and just start a simple reward system, because helping families and building a business became our joy. And I want you guys to know this. Since then, we've become senior vice presidents in this company. We have the joy of promoting 5 regional vice presidents. At the beginning, guys, we didn't even know if we could become regional vice presidents. And I'm going to end with this, guys. When I say I am, I want you guys to say greatness. I am greatness. When you understand that you're doing something new, it's going to take risks, but understand I am greatness. But when the odds are stacked against you, understand that this is an opportunity to show who you really are, because I am greatness. See, what the risks that you take echo into eternity. When it comes to your business, your legacy is going to thank you, because I am greatness. Teammates, see, push past the fear. Greatness is the only thing that can come out of you when you fully commit to something special. See, who you were created to be was pure greatness. I believe that each one of you are going to make it to the top. I'll see you at the top, because I am greatness. Take care.
You're awesome. I promise, you give people, the right kind of people, an opportunity, and unbelievable things can happen, right? We are going to have record amounts of people make record amounts of money. While you're doing your Googling, you'll come across, we have paid more people more money than any other company on the face of the planet. And that was getting just 2% market share in our dominant market. We're going to, the other markets are far more even valuable, and we're going to be more dominant in those markets. All right, so let me get back to flying through here. There we go. Okay. How confident... Shane, okay, that's great, but how confident are you in your future? I mean, are you kind of people that put your money where your mouth is? The Wall Street Journal, the end of 2022, Primerica announces $375 million share repurchase program for 2023. The reason I don't want you buying none of our stock, because we buying $375 million back. And I don't want you to buy our stock. Look, man, if we are buying back our own stock, can you please push the common sense button on your head? and allow that to sink in. That's the Wall Street Journal. Google it, look it up. Not yet. 2 minutes. While you're investigating, while you're Googling, those of you that are out there that were to tune in for the first hour, and you're more than welcome to hang around, but we're about to wrap up and let you go and give you an opportunity to come back and get some more information in the morning. But look at reputable sources. Again, push the common sense button on your head. Look at things like Business Week, Fortune, Forbes, the Wall Street Journal, things that have research departments. I believe the Wall Street Journal's research department probably a little bigger than your brother-in-law's. As you're doing your investigating, don't look only at competitors. Do look at our competitors. Look at the vlogs. Look at the fake websites prominent companies make that are easy with an IT person to see who makes it, just so you can see how scared to death they are. Everybody in the mortgage world going, why didn't we get there before Rocket did? And you'll see how they have to try to compete against us, which is a bunch of trash that's just laughable, but we want you to see what that is so you can see what, but anyway, take it all in. The best research you could ever do is to see what we do for your own family. Get a financial needs analysis done. On average, we make you more protected throughout your life and give you 10 times more money to retire on. You should see if with the stroke of a pen, you could have 10 times more money just as a client to retire on. No extra money out of your pocket. Don't spend any more money. Just have 10 times more money. Again, I can feel that person through that camera side-eyeing me going, it just sounds too good to be true. Do your research. Best research. See if who invited you or one of their advisors can put a plan in place. See that first. That's the best research, okay? Lastly, I personally am not interested in talking anyone into anything. One of the greatest parts of our company, why we are so attractive to people that would never consider our industry, is because how we deal with them. We are not interested in talking anyone into anything. Okay? Do your own research. We are sending you, matter of fact, it was sent to you 3.5 minutes ago, the email that you logged on with, a survey of interest. And it is titled appropriately because it's a survey of your interest, okay? And all it is, we really want to know what you're interested in so we can answer questions, get information, send you data in the things that you're interested in. I mean, we have many different positions, and there's some described on there. I mean, we have silent partner programs, part-time specialists, full-time specialists, regional vice presidents that commit to open a virtual or physical office for a firm, which is what Don and Bree have become. We have all ownership. We have all kinds of positions. Just click the thing on the survey that you want more information about, all right? If nothing is a fit of anything that we do, you're not interested in a career opportunity with us, you're not interested in that special client access to get backdoor at Rocket to get something better than you could get going direct to Rocket. If you're not interested in any of that, click straight to the bottom, go straight to the bottom of the survey and click no thank you. Because we do not want to talk to people that do not want to hear from us. One of the reasons we're the most trusted company in the entire industry, because we don't try to talk to people that don't want to be talked to. But you need to let us know, skip to the bottom and click no thank you. It will automatically come back to us, and we'll make sure nobody bugs you. I personally require 100% response rate from anybody I'm working with. So if you're invited out there from somebody that's working with me personally, I require that 100% get responded back to. Because if we can take an hour to throw everything we've got information to somebody, and they can't take 5 seconds to go, no thank you, then we did something wrong. And I need to figure out what we did wrong. In the approach, I said or did something got screwed up, and we want to know what that is. So I just do want you to know that is, we do that. And so if you will just get that back, we are actually compiling all the stuff, getting it back so I can know, because I very seldom, now I know I don't have all you out there, but I got everybody in here. And I don't get them very often. And so I want to find out, even the ones I don't personally work with, who gets 100% response rate and who don't. And I'm getting all y'all's names tonight. Actually, probably in the next 60 seconds. I won't get them yet, but they got them, and they're going to get them to me back there. All right. Thanks for joining. You are more than welcome to stick around. And if you're even this much interested, I would encourage you to stick around. But tomorrow morning at 9:15, we are putting on another 60 minutes to answer many of the questions and explain the details of that hybrid economic model and why we are factually better than buying a McDonald's franchise, better than every economic opportunity out there. We're going to give you the proof and all the things behind that. You're more than welcome. You're going to hear from the mortgage companies. You're going to hear from the people that represent Rocket. You're going to hear from people that represent a company called Spring EQ. You're going to hear from the Harvard folks that know all the reasons why people that are better off with their money invested through us to our programs than everywhere else that it could be. And so tune in at 9:15. I encourage you, if you married, if you have a significant other, and you were watching this tonight without them, do not try to explain this to them. You will be ridiculed all night. You will not get much sleep. It could escalate in negative ways. They could point out to you at all the things you failed out in the 3.5 years you've been married. All the commitments you've made that you just don't want to go there. Invite them back tomorrow, 9:15 Central Standard Time. We might even send a reminder. I don't know if we got a reminder with that thing hooked up. I think they might even get a reminder for that tomorrow. Let us explain it to them. Let us go into more details, different stuff than tonight, but maybe even more understandable, more usable, more to where you could understand what's going on. So you're more than welcome to do that. You're more than welcome to stick around too. If you don't, if I don't see you, gosh, I still can't. Okay, we got to get this set up to where I can see them all. We got to figure out how to do that. Okay, we're going to figure it out. Not all of them, but at least the offices. We're going to figure that out. Okay. But those of you that they're no longer with us anyway. So those of you still with us that want to pay attention, log off anytime you want. but we're getting ready to do some recognition, okay? And here's why, if you're just being exposed for the first time, here's why it can be good to sit around and watch some people come across the stage, because you can see what their backgrounds are. You can see what they did or do at their full-time job now. You can see the police officer. You can see the school teacher. You can see all the different walks. You can see the nurse. You can see all of them, and you'll see their background. You'll see them going across, and it builds belief in, if somebody like you can do it, you have a better chance of believing you can do it. So we are going to do some recognition in just a minute. It's important in our company. We believe that you, at your company, should keep your eyes open, peer around the corner, do everything you can to see if you can catch somebody doing something right. Just like where you work, right? Yeah, not doing something right, doing something right. Everybody's backstabbing. We believe in building people up. We believe if somebody does something good, we should tell them we're proud of them. We should bring them across the stage. We should make them feel good about themselves. We should have that partner of theirs to go, man, I'm glad I'm married to him or her. You know, I'm glad that's my dad. We want that to happen. We have special recognition we do. And I'm going to ask my leader to come up here, Jim Nye. Jim Nye is the perfect leader for me. He's going to help do some of this recognition. And Jim is the perfect leader for me because he lets me do what I'm going to do and is okay with it. It might make him nails across the chalkboard sometimes, but he lets me do it, okay? And so he's been the perfect leader. He and his incredible wife, Mary, have been the incredible leaders for us. Mary does so much work to put all this stuff on. Jim's going to do some recognition, and I want to bring, if I can bring up our guest speakers, if we can get up Derek and Shakora, and if we could get Dawn and Bree back up here so that they can shake some hands and do some hugs. I know they're backstage. It'll take them a minute to get up here. So if they can come up and help us hand out some awards. We're getting ready to do our Leadership Council All-World Team, Lone Wolf Inner Circle. So these are people that have done, they're leading by example. These are the brain trust we're using to run the company with. For the next 16 months and 10 days that I'm doing what I'm doing, the people that are walking across the stage are that brain trust. Many make over $25,000, many make over $50,000, some make over $75,000, some make over $100,000 a month, okay? We have a lot of people doing really well. And so, Jim, if you would take it away and start doing some recognition, that would be awesome. And by the way, definition of a break in Primerica is recognition. You can stand up and stretch your legs and cheer while everybody's coming.
Can you hear me? Like Shane was saying, this is the pinnacle of the top producers in this organization. Leadership Council, All-World Team, Lone Wolf, and the Inner Circle. So all of these have different categories, qualify differently. You know, we had the cutoff is for the first quarter, January, February, March. What we had was somebody that kind of snuck in, and they came in and they got licensed in the last month of March. And they had the opportunity, the month closed out. But between the end of March and now, they qualified for the Leadership Council. We are so proud that they drove all the way from Indiana to be here with us. Our first Leadership Council award goes to Erlinda and Johan Ennis. Our next Leadership Council Award gets these amazing jackets. Way to go, guys. From Arkansas, Thurlow and Pie Cobb. From Wichita, Kansas, in the Esparza organization, welcome Joyce and Mike Franklin. New Leadership Council from the great state of Tennessee, Corey and Kirsten Harper. From the great state of Kansas, Aaron Heckard and Michael Morris. Former chargeback specialist. I could have used them a long time ago, okay? Jacqueline and Anthony Jones. New Leadership Council winners. Congratulations, Lundy Lichtai and Daniel Ortega. Former LPN and medical entry specialist, Connie and Bonnie Mendoza. Former employee of Wells Fargo, Rafael Mendoza. Congratulations, Leadership Council winner, a true winner in so many ways, June and Eli Raymer. From the great state of Iowa, Jacob Rice and Skylar Nelson. Another one of the great Dogtown winners. Let's give it up for Noel and Rena Villalobos. One of the new up-and-coming superstars that's got an amazing story. Great opportunity for them to overcome amazing things. Super big-time winners. Let's give it up for Angie Angel Stevens. Angie and Angel were 2-month qualifiers. Now we're going to move to the Lone Wolf category. Lone Wolf has a special meaning of leading by example. Qualifying all 3 months, let's give it up for Tom and Kristen Rice. Qualifying for 3 months in a row, Wayne and Dina Olson. Another great qualifier from the great state of South Dakota. Let's give it up for Tony and Katie Kaiser. The great state of Kansas, let's give it up for Jeff and Kristen Gambala. In the great Bob McConnell organization, congratulations, President of Carpers Union, former President of the Carpet Union, Don and Vicki Oliphant. In the 2-month qualifiers, let's give it up for the great leader of St. Louis, Todd and Tricia Bosler. Great state of Arkansas, let's give it up for Eugene and Darcy Krapitsky. Again, a double qualifier. Let's give it up for Lone Wolf qualifier Jody and Dan Orrell. Let's give it up for these last 3. Let's give it up for Greg and Sandy Vermeer. The great state of Oklahoma. Let's give it up for the great leader in James and Dusty Count. great state of Iowa, former painter in the Rice organization. Let's give it up for Stephen Marla Vermeer. We have more Lone Wolf qualifiers from the great state of Missouri here in the Kansas City area. Let's give it up for Willie and Shalita Norman. One of our up-and-coming superstars in the Jeff Gambala and Jay Behringer organization, Keegan Johns. From the great state of Idaho, Mike and Kimberly Monroe. Another one of our great St. Louis leaders, Jay and Alicia Behringer. From here in Kansas City, one of our great superstar leaders, Cliff and Kim Jones. From our wonderful state of Nebraska, Kenny and Helen Engelmeyer. One of our longtime leaders in the state of Kansas, Rich and Marla Malloy. One of our superstar leaders in the Nye Super Hierarchy, Carrie Cobb and Jamie Turney. One of our seasoned leaders and near-term $1 million earners. Let's give it up for Keith and Larissa Hageman. Okay, we get to go to the next level. This next level is they've done 25 recruits to 25,000 in 1 month. This couple is one of our superstars that have now proven that they not only can win below RVP, as an RVP, now they're promoting, close to promoting really strong RVPs. This superstar couple is going to do some amazing things. They qualified for the all-world team in the month of March. Let's congratulate Chico and Nicole Jones. Our next qualifier for the all-world team, 25 by 25, multiple month qualifiers, near-term $1 million earners. Let's give it from the great state of Arizona, Mark and Nubia Hansonia. One of the fun things we get to do is we get to collect rings and diamonds and watches as kind of a fun trade that we say, hey, we've accomplished these different goals. And one of the very first steps is, people have, I know, way bigger aspirations, but when it's your first 50,000 rolling 12-month income, let's congratulate new watch earners, Lundy Lichtai and Daniel Ortega, on their $50,000 watch.
Give them all a round of applause. Don Bree Simpson, thank you for congratulating our leaders coming across the way. We're proud of them. Ethan, I just added you to Cornerstone. If you don't want to make them slides. Did Ethan make them slides? Okay. Was that cool what he did with all the individual pictures rather than just the names? And I want to bring that up because I was talking at the workshops earlier today about sowing into the environment, right? About giving 100% of yourself, sowing it in. You got 1,000 people. You give 100% of what you've got to the 1,000, and you got 999 sowing back to help you, okay? And Ethan helping with our technology online, gathering the data, getting the stuff that we're going to be able to help everybody grow all around the country with. It's phenomenal. So thank you for that. Oh, by the way, I didn't even push. Now he'll know why I just did that. I just added him to Cornerstone for. Okay, our speakers you get a chance to hear from now. Those that are joining us from out there, I know you would more than likely would not know. And those of you that have joined us since the workshops today, we are going to use the technology of today. I promise you, I was talking to Mark earlier, we are going to use, I don't have very many gifts, okay? But I have one or two. And one of them is, I see how things will be instantly that a lot of people don't really see how it gets there. And I promise you, what's going to happen with Zooms, with the etiquette, with the reasons, with the education we provide, why we're going to have people plug in with Zoom the way they're going to under the new criteria. We are going to be able to, in all 50 states, along with the live stream, help you grow your business. Been here 30 days, maybe new tonight. You will have a business in 50 states in 30 days if you're as serious as Dawn and Bree were when they first saw the business, okay? And so we flew people in from, I'm sorry, I keep saying that. I required all these people that wanted to help to fly themselves in the week of Easter to try and put some things together so we could start doing the live stream, gathering the information. I needed you all to be able to see what we can help people, what information people voluntarily give to us saying, here's what I want information on. And you don't realize they want that information. And I knew there was things we needed to do, and we just needed to do it. And then you would all learn, and everybody out there could learn. And so all the work that these leaders that had flown in, maybe 60, 70 maybe, flew in, all the work we did was about the live stream and the technology that was going to be built to go along with it. And on Monday morning, so 4.5 days ago, 2 people broke into the church, stole all the cameras, stole all the projectors, all the things that go up everywhere, all the live streaming equipment, hundreds of thousands of dollars of stuff they stole. Okay? And the leadership here and the leadership here said, we're going to find a positive in it, and boom, 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 boom. We already have it, all the stuff, and the other stuff's coming. Hopefully it's here Monday, and we have better stuff than the morons stole on Monday morning. Trust me, I can't tell you why they're morons, but they're morons. And I'm going to make sure everybody in this city and in all 50 states know who the morons are. I have friends in law enforcement. I have nonprofits to help law enforcement. Anyway, I digress. What are my not gifts? My ADD-ness going down the rabbit hole. So we had that happen on Monday, but we still got everything, boom, all the stuff coming, and the Pastor Lee, the people here, what they did to get all this stuff done, amazing, okay? And then our guest speaker's coming. There's a massive storm in the southern part of the United States, in Louisiana, Texas, all through there, and every flight was canceled. And they couldn't get flights here. They've never met me. I was, for the illness that I'm good from for now, right? Okay, so, but from the illness I had, I was gone before any of them got into business. They had no clue who I am. They pretend that they know who I am. They have no idea who I am. They have no idea all the things we know. They might have heard a little bit, right? But they were kind enough to commit to come to this in the first place. And then when there was no airplanes that we could get anywhere, not we, they jumped in a vehicle and drove 11 hours most of the night to get here. We are fortunate to have the folks here that we have here, okay? And Derek, who I did not know Disney had. How many retail stores does Disney have? 400 and some retail stores. I didn't know Disney had 400 and some retail stores. And he was the cop for those 400 and some retail stores, right? He was theft prevention. Willie, you need to meet him. Like Willie was, before Willie was a centerfold in the Money Magazine article. For those of you that still are new that are on, tomorrow we'll have the Money Magazine article where Willie, who was in theft prevention for UPS, okay, had a great job. Money Magazine did an interview on him and his entire family. We tease him about the centerfold because they did make it a centerfold. And Willie was laying kind of sideways on it. He had a suit on and everything. So anyway, but Willie was in theft prevention, right? So they got to make, if they don't know each other, they got to make sure that they meet. But that's what he did before. And you hear people that come on and light a fire, right, just explodes. It's unbelievable. Make $400,000 before they blink. You hear those kind of stories. That ain't how it is for everybody, right? And that wasn't how it was for Derek. But obviously a man of integrity. Disney hired him for theft prevention, and all he was doing was probably catching employees more than anybody else. I don't know. You know, and he was having to turn them over to the cops. That's what he did before. So that was his gig before, right? And Shakora was a nurse, mother of 5. They got 5 kids. And when I heard them for the first time, was on a Zoom just not long ago, right? And Derek impressed me. I knew I was starting to understand why all of our people wanted Aaron, everybody's all over us. We have to have you guys come, right? And then Shakora, I'll screw it up 500 times. Shakora spoke, an RN, and she was so honest and so real. I was okay if she was the only one that came. Because people want honest and real. Yep. Right? Yep. They're both honest and real. They're not here to candy coat. They're not here to do any fluff. They're here to tell you the truth. The good, the bad, the ugly. And so I'm excited for me to just be able to hear for the first time their story and how they can help us with what they've experienced. So give a big round of applause to the Simpsons. Thank you.
Ooh, y'all excited? My mic on? Can you hear me? All right. Listen, so excited and so blessed to be here with you guys. It is an honor to be standing here. Isn't she beautiful? My queen. Y'all say that now until y'all hear the story. Huh? Y'all say it now until y'all hear the story. Yeah. Right. No, but we're going to tell you the truth, man. But no, Coach Shane, it's definitely an honor to be here, man. Y'all recognition is phenomenal. Being here and everything is just great. But we want to get into, I want to make sure that you guys understand that in our story, there's a lot to be caught, right? So we want you to catch what we're talking about today, but we're going to tell you the truth, right? We're going to show you what really happened in our story. So let's see. Oh, yeah. The theme is being in the right place at the right time, right? So we're going to talk about that. So listen up, guys. Let's get started, right? So the reason why I'm in this company right now is because of this first slide, right? As you heard Coach Shane say, I was in the retail investigation world for about 15 years prior to Primerica. Yes, I did. Disney stores closed, so I ended up being with Zales and some other company. And I was in retail, high level, traveling 6 days a week. Get home on Saturday, was home for a day and a half during that time. And so that's why we got 5 kids. I didn't get to see her much, right? So we get home for a day and a half, go to church, right? And I was gone somewhere again. Family was growing. And so we lived in Arizona, Lynchfield Park. I think I had somebody out here. Arizona, my boy, right? Right, so we lived in Lynchfield Park. And so we was in Arizona during that time. And the day after our anniversary, several years ago, my mom passed away, right? Devastating moment for me, originally from Memphis, Tennessee. My wife by way of Pine Bluff, Arkansas in the building, right? And so after she passed away, we wanted to get back down south, right? We wanted to get closer to home. So we moved to Pine Bluff. But because of my mom, is the reason why I crusade here, because I found out once I got through the presentation, I'll tell you what happened when I get there, but what happened was I found out my mom had a whole life policy. We didn't have enough money to bury her. And watch this, old school mothers, right? Southern mothers talk to you like this. I was traveling to one of my stores one day, and I said, Mama, do you have life insurance? And she said, boy, I got that covered. That's grown folks' business. So we don't question our elders and where I come from. We say, yes, ma'am, and we smile because we want to keep all our teeth, right? So I said, yes, ma'am, and I never spoke about it again, but she passed away in the wrong type of insurance, so she's a big reason why I crusade as passionate as I do right now today. But when I got into business, Coach Goodlow and Miss Goodlow, who's here right now, right, appreciate my coaches, right? Life was a lot different when we got down to Pine Bluff. I went from this big corporate career, beautiful house in Arizona. It was extremely downsized getting to Pine Bluff. The only job I could find, because everybody told me I was overqualified, right, for a job, was to be a store manager at a place called USA Drug during that time. And I got tricked, really, by a good friend of mine at church. He said, Derek, I got a flat tire. Will you please come and help me with my tire? Me being a good friend, I show up, and it happened to be at the Goodlow's office. Y'all remember that? Right? The guy knew I was good in business, and I ended up getting a presentation that day. So it was just me by myself. Shakur was pregnant with our 5th child, and we had downsides. Anytime that you drop a major drop in income, I think my income dropped over $30,000, maybe $40,000, right, at the time, right? So we didn't feel real good where we were financially, right? And so I go in here and I see this presentation, and immediately I got excited because I know facts, right? They said it was going to train me, help me get licensed, teach me how to do some stuff. I had already lived through my mom's situation. I could go home every night, and that night I never forget Mr. Goodlow showed me that he had made $19,000 the following month, but he get to go home every night. I said, I'm in, right? I signed up on the spot. That was wrong. And Shakura will tell you why that was wrong.
Here we go, y'all. So, as you heard, we had went from a certain level of living to 40, which our income was already cut in half. So this man who was super excited about being a crusader came home to his pregnant wife and said, I know what I want to do with the rest of my life. And I'm quitting my job. What? You're gonna do what, sir? 5th child, pregnant, you're quitting your job to do this thing, and y'all, he's done things in the past, you know? So I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And as a woman, I think we want financial security. And mine was in jeopardy, okay? So this partner that you see before you now, I mean, she is securities licensed and, you know, might I add, principal license. I am the license specialist for not only our life license, but our securities licenses, and I work back office, I mean daily. That is the partner that you see before you now.
Tell them the truth.
Okay, so we have been in the business since 2011, and I say we very loosely. Okay, so we've been in the business about 12 years.
That's right.
Well, I've only been in the business for 7. So I spent the first 5 years doing my best to be the anti-partner, okay? You guys, when I say I despised Primerica, it was so deep within my soul. And Mr. Goodlow. I did, y'all. He was like right there with, I'm not gonna say it. So, despised, wanted nothing to do with either. So it was at this time that I began my despicable plan of, I call it my 4 phases of supportiveness. Okay, so I'm gonna just list out my phases. Okay, so phase 1 is dropping anchor. Phase 2 is drilling holes in the boat. Phase 3 is sitting on the boat. And phase 4 is rowing, and that doesn't come for a long time. Okay, so let's start with dropping anchor. Okay, so you heard he came home and he said, I know what I want to do with the rest of my life.
I'm fired up.
He's so excited, y'all. And when I say, have you ever been cold and somebody put a wet blanket on you? Yeah, that was me. I was a whole wet blanket. I was so negative. Oh my God. And I mean, he was excited. He was going to meetings. He was talking about going to these events, and he was going on these appointments. And I was like, all I know is that I'm pregnant with our 5th child. I am basically a single parent now. And because you are gone all the time doing this Prime America thing with Mr. Goodlow, and he is taking my husband away from me. You know, so I decided, you know what? I think I'm gonna try guilt tripping. Let's see if that works. So, oh, you're going to a fast start school. Well, you know, you're not working and the light bills due, and now you're gonna take money and get a hotel room, and then you gotta travel. Now we're in the Pine Bluff, Arkansas. You gotta travel to Baton Rouge. You want us to be out on the street. Okay. So, I mean, I'm doing everything, y'all. I'm trying guilt trips. I'm doing it all. I'm pulling out all the stops. And then I have this thing that when I get upset, he says that my bottom lip pokes out. Yeah. So, and he hates it. And he's like, what's wrong? And so I was like, okay, let's use that. Okay? Let's poke out the lip and see if we can get rid of this Primerica thing. Okay, so that didn't work. Phase 2. You gotta advance, you gotta keep it moving. So phase 2, I began to drill holes in the boat. And what I mean by that is that I started bad-mouthing the business to family, friends, pastors. Y'all, in this business, who's your warm market? All those people I just mentioned, right? Yeah.
No warm market for me.
No warm market for him. I destroyed it. Completely destroyed it. So I was like, okay, but it didn't stop him. So here I am. I'm like, okay, I tried that. Here we go. What's next? You click the. Okay, so we already talked about being, he was recruited without me. Hey, y'all, don't do that. If you are talking to somebody that has a spouse, talk to them both together. Let them hear it together at the same time so that they can mutually talk about it, you know, because there was a point where he was excited and he wanted to talk about Primerica, but I didn't hear what he heard. So I didn't have the excitement that he had. And so eventually he noticed that he would come home all excited, hey, and I'm like, yeah, they said what? Oh, okay. You know, so eventually you stop talking to that person about that because you're not getting the response that you were looking for. And so I mean, and I put myself, I became like an outsider in my own house, and I did that to myself. Like, I was like, oh my God, we're drifting because we don't have that commonality of what he's super excited about. So
this is where I kind of came in at, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit here, guys, I realized that I had to get my skills up really quick, right? Because there was a clock ticking on my business right now, right? And I knew I had to recruit my wife. That's all I wanted to do, okay? So I mastered my skills really, really quickly so I could get some results. You understand that, right? I knew that, hey, I don't know how long I could be this strong because me and her don't have any problems. We don't even argue. I don't make her cry, none of that. Come on, catch that, fellas, right? It's like, this is my baby, right? So now we're the first time in our marriage we are sideways about something that I think is going to take us to the next level.
Because the marriage was sound.
Yeah, we were fine.
Yeah.
But this situation, we just disagreed on, right? So it was more, that's your thing, right? And everything else, we kind of, we're together on. So I had to do that, and I wanted to stay in business, so I built a business, right? So one of the things I did, of course, mastering the fundamentals, as you see, I had to learn prospecting really quickly, right? I had to get recruiting, I had to have a winning presentation, I had to close because she wasn't playing about that light bill she told you about, right? That light bill had to get paid, right? So you have to get results quickly, and then I had to get other people off to a fast start and start building what I knew I needed to do, right? So, but I also had to encourage myself. So where my praying folks at, right? See, at this time, the only thing that kept me straight, I hear some of y'all head, right? Like, man, that was tough, dude. How'd you do it? I prayed every morning. I cried in the private, and I got in the mirror, and I encouraged myself, right? I put my worship music on. I listened to Eric Thomas. I said, man, you're a mighty man of valor. You're going to get this done, God. You're going to send somebody my way that needs what I do, right? And I'm going to get it done. She don't know it yet. God, she your child. You deal with her. I'm going to do what you told me to do. One day she going to get it, and I'm going to get out this door. I'm going to go do what I need to do. And then I walk out and I said, baby, I'm going to work every day. And I go do what I needed to do, right? And so we had success along the way, right? But you can understand that the law of being on one accord was not in play here right now, right? And so during this time, it was tough, but I had to get results. So I went home, and I did something that most people are scared to do even today. I heard about this trip going to the Bahamas, right? The Atlantis was going on. And they said that, and this is different. I've been a corporate executive for a long time. There's times in my life where Shakur couldn't come to the Christmas party because they said it was employees only, right? And so she was upset about that. And I go to her and said, baby, guess what? Primerica says that if we do enough work, right, I can go and win this trip and I can take you to the Bahamas. And they're gonna pay for your airfare and hotel and all this stuff. It's gonna be free and we're gonna have this great trip. And she made a face like, yeah, right. I couldn't even go to the Christmas party. So I'm gonna let her tell you about the Atlantis.
Y'all, like shortly before he won the Atlantis trip, I don't know how, somehow he convinced me to go to a fast start school. So I go to this fast start school, and very much like this one, and I attend a partnership breakout, and I hear all these amazing women. And at that point, I realized I'm a unicorn or a mermaid or some other type of mythological creature, because every one of these women were supported from day one. I am something special. Not in a good way. More like, okay, special. So, like I said, I'm exposed to this partnership thing, and I'm hearing these women, and I'm realizing that the success that they are having is probably related to their partnership, because that was the difference. And I was like, okay. So now at this point, I'm more receptive to this idea of partnership. So we go to the Atlantis. My first
Got results.
He got results. Shortly after we go to the Atlantis, and you guys know you won company trips, and they leave you these nice presents on the bed, and you get this nice little note from Glenn, and he thanks me for being such an amazing, supportive partner and holding
Thank you,
it
Glenn.
down so that this amazing agent could win a trip. Y'all, I felt this big when I say, I was like, I have not been a supportive partner. Glenn doesn't know me. So, I mean, after that trip, well, actually, I'm gonna say before that trip, after Fast Start School is when I entered phase 3. Phase 3 was sitting on the boat. So this is after Fast Start School. Okay, so I'm gonna take you back a little bit. And we leave Fast Start School, and when I say sitting on the boat, all this means is that I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna stop complaining. I'm gonna stop putting my mouth on the business. I'm not gonna talk about Mr. Goodlow anymore, you know? So that's all that means. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna actually do anything. I'm just not gonna stop you from doing it. So that was phase 3. Now, after Atlantis, Atlantis is beautiful. The Bahamas is amazing, and things happen on trips. Thank God we couldn't have any more children.
Take what I can get.
So when we went on this trip, this is when I entered phase 4. And I said, you know what? Give me the oar. Give me one of them. You've had 2 for the last 5-6 years. Let me help you. Let me help you row. I took the leap of faith. So this was me saying, you know what? This is scary. I've never had an entrepreneurial bone in my body, so I was definitely employee mindseted. So this for me was a leap of faith. Like it was. Now that slide that you see behind us at the Atlantis is actually called the leap of faith. Y'all, this slide. I mean, I don't know how many stories high it is, but it goes straight down. I mean, straight down. And to the point to where you feel like you are coming off this thing, okay? So as the slide, okay, it goes straight down, but you know, hey, you've got to eventually get into the water. So there's this little dip, but it takes you through like a Shark Tank. And so mentally, you're thinking, okay, Shark Tank, now I'm in open water. So I knew about this slide, so I sent him down first because somebody's got to tell the story. So
Hurry up, man.
he gets on this slide. Plus, I can't swim, and I need him to rescue me when I get to the bottom. Well, I couldn't swim then. I can now. So he gets on the slide, and he's sitting there. And you know the water comes down to keep the slide moist. When I tell you, this grown man he starts flailing like he's drowning. An expert swimmer, by the way. He is dying, drowning. He hadn't went down the slide yet. So eventually, the workers are irritated with him because he won't go down the slide. And he's holding up the line. So they say, sir, you gotta go. And he takes his leap of faith. Y'all wanna know what I heard?
All right, that's enough. Listen, that's not even part of the story. I don't know. Listen, come on back over here. See, you can't take any. I can't take her nowhere, guys. So we took the leap of faith. Y'all catch that? All right, so we moved. Right. But after winning that trip, man, something changed. Okay, so something changed, man, and she wasn't. It was just magical. So if you want to recruit your partner, guys, what I'm telling you is get results. Win a trip, let the company recruit, right? Your spouse for you, right? But you keep going because you know it's going to change your legacy. I knew that. I believed it with everything in me, right? And then one day, out the blue, I see this on Facebook.
Yeah, this was like, oh my goodness, about 7 years ago. And I wrote this shortly after the trip. The moment you realize that your husband has made up his mind to do everything in his power to make your dreams and desires come true. Derek, your trust, faith, and belief in your God-given purpose is impressive to say the least. Your God said it and I believe it attitude is inspiring. And I'm so grateful that I have you as my head, and I'm honored to be your helpmeet. Hashtag nothing is impossible. Hashtag one accord. Hashtag submissive and cool with it. Hashtag let's go get it.
Y'all give her a big round of applause. Oh, it's go time now. I don't know if y'all know, but after getting that from your rib, it's go time, baby. I thought I was moving, but I'm ready to go now. So here's the change, right? So we on one accord again, right? And so now it's go time. Now we gonna win, right? And so understand, a lot of you that have been in the business for a period of time, you may have some ups and downs. I know some of y'all are going, wow, dude, you went through it. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's no different than what you go through, right? You got different things. There's areas in your life where you got to do some different things. So let's talk about that real quick. What didn't I do during the time my wife was unsupportive? I didn't accuse her of not being supportive. I didn't talk negative to her. I didn't treat her bad. I kept our marriage intact, right? Nothing else was wrong. We just disagreed in this area, right? And so I prayed every day like I told you, and during my prayer time, God told me I had to man up. And I'm gonna tell you about that here in a second, because during this time also, she believed in her, that we can do the business and everything's gonna go, but she also still wanted security. Women say security. Security. Absolutely, right? And so that is a need. That's not a want, that is a need, right? And so she said, I'm going to nursing school. I said, okay, fine by me, go, right? It's something that you want to do, I'm gonna support you, go do it, right? But understand we still got 5 kids, right? We're running a business and all this kind of stuff. So she goes to start nursing school, and come to find out, you guys, guess what my wife really needed while in nursing school? Support. Nursing school is hard. They take these long tests, learn stuff that's not even English, right? And that was difficult, right? And so during prayer, my flesh could have been like, you didn't support me, so I'll support you, right? We could tear down our own houses sometime, catch this. So during prayer time, he said, don't treat her wrong. You got to man up. Men say man up. Man up. Oh, no, where my men at? Say man up. Man up. There you go, man up. Man up. So guess what I had to do? Some areas in your life, you got to man up sometime. And I manned up. What did I do? I said, babe, You need support from me. I got you, right? Here's what you need to do. You are now deployed. She said, what? I said, you know how the military vets in here? Military folks, appreciate your service, guys, right? All my military people. Y'all know what deployed means. When you go to get deployed, you can't go to birthday parties, you can't be around, you can't do the every day. You're not there, you're gone. You're serving, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Nobody can be mad at you for that because you're doing a great thing. You're protecting our great country, correct? Right? My wife was deployed because she was trying to protect our household. I understood that. I knew that nursing wasn't gonna be long, but since she felt like we needed protection, that's what she had to do. Baby, you go to be deployed. From this point on, kids, when your mother's in the house, she's not here. I take you to school, I pick you up, I do laundry, I sign school books, port cards, I do dinner, right? Every decision made in the house comes to me, and I'm still gonna do appointments. I'm gonna do everything, baby. You don't do nothing but study. Get the job done. You go get your dream. See, one thing I understood about my wife was that she didn't know how to support a guy like me, right? You know why? Her dad wasn't around. Her mom passed away when she was 19, right? Her mom had diabetes, passed away early. So she hadn't had an example of how a woman that supports a man. So she didn't even know how to do it. So I had to be the example for my wife. See, I'm not nagging her. I'm not telling her what she didn't do. No, I said, I'm gonna do everything and I'm gonna run the business. And this is before Zoom on TV. I was Zooming to people's house still. I would do appointments till 2, shoot over here, get the kids from school, shoot them home, take care of stuff there. Dinner was already prepared. I'm on my next appointment in the KTs in the evening. I burned it. I studied. I still got licensed. I still got results. I still did everything needed. She became a nurse. And now, y'all, this is real stuff. I didn't have a warm market. These are my church brothers. Went to church with them all the time, 3 times a week usually, right, before I was on my run. None of these guys would give me an appointment. I didn't know why. I found out what she told you guys years later, right? I'm asking these, I'm like, man, I see you guys every week. Why? I mean, I watch your kids and stuff. We pray together. Why would you give me an appointment? Man, it cut me so bad that these guys that were leading the ministry would not even be around. None of my people that we knew, right, would give us a time of day. So anybody was in here when I said get 2 names and numbers a day? Right, that was me. I said, well, shoot, if y'all won't listen to me, I'm gonna find somebody that will. They ain't look like y'all, but somebody listen to me. A winner wins. Primerica doesn't care about your skin color, your height, your weight. They give you a solution number. It is to fix problems, right? And so because I still had the skills to pay the bills, I knew this business, I just went to work. They said the numbers can't beat you, coach. Really, did you tell me that? You said the numbers can't beat you. Go just run the numbers. So I ran the numbers and I developed a team that would allow me to lead them. I was appreciative for that. Because of this, we won the jersey. Because of that, we went RVP. We kept moving. We kept moving, right? And then this happens. Oh, see, y'all laughing because y'all don't know. Thank you, Lord. Y'all don't know what this is. I'm going to help you. You don't know what this is. This is everything to me. I'm not hungry. Don't look at my size right now. I didn't eat that night. I've been praying. I've been working. I've been believing that one day somebody gonna want this thing as bad as me. I'm 2 hours away from home, running appointments every week, 2 hours away from home, 2 times a week. I'm in Monroe, Louisiana, living in Alexandria. Had clients up there running back and forth. Appointments canceled at 9, 10 o'clock appointment canceled. Only appointment that was gonna stick was a recruit appointment at dang on midnight, in person. Now, think about the rules of Primerica, guys. Isn't that a reschedule? How many of y'all, be honest, raise your hand. Don't raise your hand. You don't even know I'm asking. Would have went to Whataburger. You're 2 hours away from home, supposed to be going back home. You're 2 hours away from home, 2.5 hours away from home. It is getting ready to be midnight, and the only person that's gonna show up is supposed to be a recruit, no money involved, and we're meeting at the wrong place. We're meeting at a dang on Whataburger. How many of y'all would have really went to that appointment? Okay, I got a couple hungry people in here. What's the theme of this? Be in the right place at the right time? Don't y'all know God moving the midnight hour? Something inside of me said, Derek, go. So, I picked up the phone, called my beautiful wife. I said, hey, babe, appointment's canceled. I ain't have the best of day. I said, but I got one more appointment at midnight at Whataburger. Now, she could have said, man, bring your butt home. Ain't nothing open after 12, but, I don't know if y'all in the South. But because I sowed those seeds, because I'm a man of integrity, she know I was working the business. She know that she could believe in me. She knew I was about my business, and she's supportive. She said, go get it. I said, bet. So now I go to Whataburger. And who walks in the door? Assistant football coach. Donald McNeil. Who happens to be the fastest SVP in Louisiana right now, him and Bree. $400,000 earners, by the way, right? But I went and I was in the right place like y'all are right now. I was in the right place at the right time for a divine appointment that changed both of our lives forever and so many others with the ripple effect, right? And so now we're at this appointment. Understand, catch this, I had the skills. My production didn't let me get on stage like this at the time, but it didn't make me any less of a person, didn't make me any less of a man. Only reason why this kind of gets flared up is because of results, right? But some of y'all out there might be feeling like you less than, but you got all the skills, you've been in the business, you know how to do everything. But you haven't found the people that want it big enough, so the results you want are still pending, but God is still in control. He will do it for you if you stay in the game. If you reconnect and you keep working, your time is coming, right? So I sit down and Don's there and I tell him, hey, man, if me and you're a coach, man, we got these rings down here they give. I wasn't even at 50 yet, right? I didn't have no watch, but I believed I was $1 million earner in my heart. My confidence was on 10. At midnight, I gave the same fired up presentation. I gave it 12 as I did it 6, that I would have gave it 10, as I would have gave it 11. He got it in Whataburger at 12. I didn't even do a presentation. I just talked to Don. But Don saw something in my eyes. He said, I don't know, but it's something about you. I said, look, man, all I need you to do, y'all hear their story. I was winning before. We won trips. We kept getting results. We kept doing it, right? But we locked arms. After that fast start school that they came, y'all heard Bree say today, Coach, what I got to do, they didn't even have an IBA. Right? Yeah, we gave them the $100 to get down there. Sow into your team. You never know. Do you know that $100 keep paying me? That's the best $100 ever. Thank y'all, McNeils. I love y'all, right? It's a big deal. You never know. But that wasn't the first person I helped to get to a fast start school. That wasn't the first time I invited somebody to breakfast that wasn't mine, right? Y'all get that? Hotel food. Come and have breakfast with me. Like I'm paying for it, but I'm not, right? I did what I had to do, right? Look, but that led to this. We started getting things together, right? That led to this. We now have 14 regional vice presidents. I have basically 5 regional vice presidents direct. It's getting ready to get real crazy in a little old town called Monroe, but because of Zoom, we're across the country. We're building big things, but I hope y'all catch our heart, right? People that are new, you can do it fast. Listen to the Donna and Breeze, right? You'll see them, you'll hear their story. You can do it fast. But for those of you that's been around, maybe lost a little bit of hope, maybe your partnership ain't where it need to be, get on one accord quickly. Don't waste time. We lost 4 years because we couldn't get it together. But even if you can't, keep pushing. It's worth it because we have ownership. Those 5 kids will never have to worry about money, right? If we pass away, it keep going, and it keep going, and it keep going, it keep going, it keep going, it keep going. If I would have quit along the way, she wouldn't be retired. My wife was a nurse for about a year before she retired. She was getting us security, but by the time COVID happened, I told her to come home. Your money's insignificant. We're making $250,000, $300,000. Come home, right? You don't have to deal with all that. Our life has changed, man. Keep God first, your family, work your butt off in this business, and I'll see all you guys at the top.
I'm glad I got things to give them tomorrow. So, was I right about Shakur tell the truth? Now, sitting back there, it's hard to hear everything, right? Then I go back in the very back so I can watch in the green room to try and watch it on the camera, but there's always people talking to you or on the screen back there. But was it get it or go get it? That's a t-shirt. Right? I'm telling you, every guy that I know, when they're out there beating themselves up mentally, 3 dark houses, nothing's going right, they're having to be positive, and everybody's jabbing the hypodermic needles into them, sucking out all the positive so that they can give the positive to the negative people, and they've had all the positive sucked out of them. If they can have the lady they love say, go get it, holy crap. She must believe in me if she's saying to do it. Man, I'm telling you, this is going to be the go get it fast start school, you know? Because I'm telling you, we're going to start making shirts that say go get it. And if you don't know, then you don't know. Ask me, you know? Wow. It was worth, I'm telling you, I've already gotten so much more than I needed to get from this event. I hope you're starting to feel that same way, and we got more to go. I want to bring up right now to do some more recognition. First of all, I want to, who's going to be our folks that are reading our recognition. They bust their butt to help us put all this stuff on, okay? They are always I'll do it. And it's both of them. It's not just one of them. And Mike changed people's lives an event ago when they walked up together, because Mike don't speak. All 6'7". If I'm going into a dark alley, I want that dude with me, okay? I mean, that dude, but he don't speak, okay? Aaron speaks. And I was like, man, you could help people so much if you would ever just, the role you play, if you would ever speak, I knew it'd be a while. And when they walked up here together for Aaron to speak, and then Aaron did one of these, and Mike walked up to the microphone, he impacted a whole lot of people's lives. Stepping out of his comfort zone to do that. And now he helps organize so many things behind the scenes. All of us. There's a lot of $1 million and $100,000 earners that freaking pick up trash and do the vacuuming and do all kinds of stuff to put these things on. And this couple is a couple that is like that, always asking, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? Got in the leadership council, right? 2 new RVPs that are out freaking killing it, right? They were killing it before most of the rest of the people were killing it. And so they're going to help us read the recognition. So bring up Aaron and Mike. Come on up here to read the recognition. And then our greeters, our rock stars up here. Todd and Trisha Bosler, $400,000 earners. Willie and Shalita Norman, $300,000 or $400,000 earners. Flip and Kim Jones, who helped develop a whole bunch of first-generation RVPs. And Jeff and Kristen Gambala, if you could help us hand out some awards, as Aaron and Mike, I think, read the next one.
Hey guys, we missed one on the Leadership Council. Remember, this is one of the top elite people that of all of the organization, they're getting it done in a big way. And for some reason, they got dropped from the list, and we are so sorry about that. But man, we couldn't be prouder of them to be joining the Leadership Council. Congratulations for a 2-month qualifier to James and Leah Watford from Arizona.
So here's the deal. Mike's an incredible speaker, but imagine being up here. You want to feel the energy from the crowd. So the way we do recognition is up, 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 okay? All right, guys. Cheer like it's your family crossing the stage, okay? All right, guys, we are going to do... Go ahead, babe.
All right, we're starting off with personal recruiting. So, thank you. Starting off at number 10. She was a personal banker. He was a delivery driver, which is crazy because he's a terrible driver. Lundy Lichty and Daniel Ortega. At number 9, Tim and Amanda Armstrong. At number 8, David Rice and Haley Landals. At number 7, Jacob Rice and Skylar Nelson. At number 6, Donna Rose Bagaloo.
All right, guys, we're going to go into number 5, spiritual coach, speaker, and entrepreneur, Arlinda Ennis. Number 4, chargeback specialist, Jacqueline and Anthony Jones. Number 3, former teacher, Leah Acosta. Number 2, a former tax preparer with 17 personal recruits, Joyce and Mike Franklin. All right, y'all, there's one number 1, Wells Fargo rep and salon owner with 19 personal recruits, the incredible Chico and Nicole Jones.
All right, next we're going to be recognizing district leader recruiting. At number 10, this guy was my boss at one point in time, Michael Blakesley.
He said that guy was my former boss.
At number 9, Chastity Follett. And number 8, Anna Para. And tied for number 6, Carlos Thomas.
All right, guys, and we're going number 6. Okay, cool. Number 6, spiritual coach, speaker, and entrepreneur, Arlinda Ennis. Listen to this, y'all. Number 5, a former stay-at-home mom, 14 personal recruits, Amelia Sparza. Another stud, former stay-at-home mom, studette, number 4, Juan Hermoso Leos. Hermosillo, sorry, y'all. All right, number 3, med tech and former teacher, Daniel and Sarah Velez. Number 2 with 17 recruits, Leticia Hernandez. All right, y'all say big gap. Big gap. Number 1 with 20
All right, now we're going on to division leader recruiting. At number 10, Priscilla and Irvin Hernandez. At number 9, Joseph Illingworth. At number 8, Nemagai Ben Israel. At number 7, Connie and Bonnie Mendoza. Number 6, Jacqueline and Anthony Jones. Aaron's supposed to read number 5, but I'll do it. At number 5, Evan and Claudia Boslaw.
Number 4, former pharmacy tech Kelly Duckery. Number 3, former behavioral health Donna Rose Bugaloo. Number 2 in the division leader recruiting category, Sandra Portillo Rodriguez. And number 1, jumping 10 ahead with 37, former teacher Leah Acosta.
Moving on, regional leader recruiting. At number 10, Shane and Mika Rudman. At number 9, Mary and Danny Crook. Coming in at number 8, Anthony and Katie Ridgway. Coming in at number 7, Shad and Kristen Clayton. Coming in at number 6, Pi and Thurlow Cobb.
All right, guys, and number 5, former teacher and truck driver Andrea Stample and Scott Fiskus. All right, y'all, doubling that at number 4 with 21, former student Jacob Rice and Skylar Nelson. That top 3, number 3, former retail sales Zulima Stevenson. Number 2 with 45, recruiting tax preparer Joyce and Mike Franklin. And absolutely dominating out of the Dogtown hierarchy with 73, James and Leah Watford. Unbelievable.
RVP and above recruiting. Coming in at number 10, Aaron Heckard and Michael Morris. Coming in at number 9, Lundy Lichty and Daniel Ortega. Coming in at number 8, Tom and Kristen Rice. Coming in at number 7, Irma and Joaquin Lopez. Joaquin, sorry. Coming in at number 7, Charlie and Ramona Santillan.
That was number 6, y'all. Good job, baby. Good job. All right, guys, number 5, former welder David and Shelley Beard. Listen to this, y'all. Number 4, former college dropout Julio and Ceci Garcia, Dogtown. Number 3, everybody from Iowa, one, you hear him loud and proud, the incredible Mark Anuvia Hansodia. Way to go, everybody. All right, y'all, I think we gotta fly through this, right? We still going or are we done? What? All right, we're still going, so crank the party up, everybody. Yeah, okay. Yep, let's keep going. All right, guys, champions and personal licenses. Go ahead, babe.
All right, personal licenses. Coming in at number 6, Kara and David Dowers. Coming in at number 5, Daniel and Sarah Velez. Coming in at number 4, David Rice and Haley Landolt. Coming in at number 3, Craig and Lisa Hansen. And number 2, Jacob Rice and Skylar Nelson.
But y'all, there's only one number 1, a former McDonald's manager, the incredible Tim and Amanda Armstrong.
All right, district leader licenses. Coming in at number 3 with 3 licenses, Cole Henderson.
Way to go, Cole!
District leader licenses. Coming in at number 2, Daniel and Sarah Velez.
Number 1, again, the unbelievable Angie and Angel Stevens. Way to go, y'all.
Division leader licenses. Coming in at number 2, Sandra Portillo Rodriguez.
They have unbelievable leaders. All right, there's only one number 1 with 4, Kelly Duggery.
Regional leader licenses. Coming in at number 3, Joyce and Mike Franklin. Coming in at number 2, James and Leah Watford.
Number 1, Jacob Rice and Skylar Nelson. Number 1, regional leader.
Moving on to RVP and above licenses. Coming in at number 5, Tim and Amanda Armstrong.
All right, guys, big energy here. Here we go. And the top 4, number 4, former student David Rice and Haley Landolt. Number 3 with 8 licenses, former bartender Aaron Heckard and Michael Morris. Number 2, former farmer Tom and Kristen Rice, $1 million earners, y'all. And number 1, a former optician, Martha Annalie Esparza. Way to go, guys! All right, guys, check those numbers. Let's go. A special thank you to our photographers and the people that put everything out. Hey, Lisa, thank you so much. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Good job, everybody.
Hey, let's give all these great accomplishments a big round of applause. Okay, this is the part of the evening. We have an opportunity to recognize the elite of our last quarter. We call this our MVPs. We have categories in areas: personal, district, division, regional leaders, and RVP and above. This time we've added a new category, and that is a new RVP category. The category of RVPs that are been an RVP a year or less. And they're competing. There was 6 different RVPs competing in this category, and we'll have that opportunity to recognize them. So, let's start off with the personal MVP. This great couple's been up here more than once. They hail from the great state of Iowa. They've only been around 3 years. He used to work at Wells Fargo in the financial service business, but wanted way more. He wanted control of his future, and he wanted his destiny in his own hand. Does anybody sound familiar to anybody, right? In just a few short period of time, few short months, they have 27 base shop licenses after their replacement, $45,000 the last 12-month cash flow, on their way to something much bigger. They're looking for ownership in the next 12 months and have their own office. One of the biggest thinkers for a young couple. They really want to make a huge impact on this planet for sure. And he's just a great personal producer, which is now converted to 2 RVPs and growing like crazy. The best of the personal MVP. Let's give it up for Chico and Nicole Jones. They went over 50,000 tonight. Woo! All right. This next couple is our district MVP. So excited to see them grow. You know, some people make their kids their excuses, and some people make them their motivation. They have 6 motivations, 6 children. They're new divisions in Arizona. Married 15 years. He's worked in corporate America. She's worked in corporate America. He's worked in government. He works for a utility company. And they were driving hours and hours of driving just to make a scratch out a living. They definitely wanted freedom, more time with their kids, and their kids needed more time with their parents. Been in Primerica just 9 months. And so in the last 3 months, they've cash flowed $15,000. Next 12 months, they see the ring, RVP, and beyond. The things that people wish they knew about them was that they, no matter what, they've always been grateful, rich or poor. They wanted to always win, and they always trusted in the Lord, and that's been their rock. Leaving their kids a legacy is something that they don't just talk about, they really believe, they know they can change it forever. District MVP, Angie and Angel Stevens. This young single mother is our division MVP. She's from a great state out west, willing to just do whatever she's got to do to make it happen, works every day to leave that legacy for her family and have a better life than the one that she's had. She's working every day so she can be proud of it. Whether she's dead or alive, she wants to win and leave a legacy. She just always has wanted something bigger and better and never had an opportunity, never had a vehicle that wouldn't judge her. And she went after it, and this thing is delivering in a big way. She had a self-employed background before, so she knows how to manage her time. She sees the RVP in the ring just in a short amount of months, already has 20 team licenses, and over the last few months, she's earned $31,000. Let's give it to the division MVP, Sandra Portillo. She can take your excuses away. Way to go. And now our regional leader MVP. This young couple comes from amazing heritage in Primerica. They come from amazing lineage. In fact is, they're a third generation Primerican. He just saw his dad, saw his brother, but he said, that sounds great, but I really still want something that I can be proud of, something that I put my name on. And so this young couple are starting to put it together. And by winning the MVP at the regional leader contract, they're really setting the tone. He was going to college, and he was going to Iowa State, and she was going to the University of Iowa. Now, I don't know how that ever worked up there at all, okay? But somehow a Cyclone and a Hawkeye got together here, okay? But anyway, absolutely sees where it's happening. In a short period of time, has already accumulated 57 base licenses, made over $40,000 in the last 12 months, on his way to something bigger, all while he is still finishing college. Let's give it up for the regional leader, MVP, Jacob Rice and Skylar Nelson. Hey, so the next one is what I was talking about earlier, guys, okay? It's the Rookie RVP MVP, right? And so this is a new award we just come up with. We said, of these brand new RVPs that we're kicking out, wouldn't it be fun if they could compete for an MVP? And so after they get to RVP, it's like, man, that's just where the fun begins. And they really started rocking, and we started competing these. So these 6 RVPs competed, and this is our MVP for this quarter. This great young couple, again, comes from great American, Primerican lineage, right? And no matter what he saw at home, he still wanted to have a chance to be in a winning environment. His dad talked about a lot of things, heard about a lot of things, but he decided that, listen, I want to be a part of this too. So he came to a couple events like this, and he said, that's what Dad has done. He's done this all his life. This is pretty good. And so after attending a big event like this, he decided to change it forever. Now this guy's been after it a little bit, and so are you ready for this? He's won 10 company trips, 7 of them while he was going to college. He's the company, here's the not just our organization, but the entire company's first third generation below RVP that's ever won the ring. The very first one. The company's first third generation below RVP to get the ring. That is an award. That's amazing, all right? He just stays after it. He's so consistent. He's just been around and a great example in his parents. and definitely going to see ownership here soon. His last 12-month income is $163,000, and he always drives a kick-butt car, okay? From Urbandale, Iowa, rookie, RVP MVP, third-generation Primerica kid, David Rice and Haley Landau.
Are you done? Are you done? Oh, yeah. Okay, so hey, so we've got only one MVP left to do. Okay, kind of hard to figure out who it probably going to be, right? Look, this rookie RVP category, at the last event, decided during that event we were going to do that. And I told these rookies I didn't know what it was going to be based on, but I'd let them know as soon as I knew. And we were in wherever that was, out of the country, Bahama thingy, jobber, you know, and they were asking, people were out, you know, and I'm going, I'll get it. I think I know what you know. And so none of them knew how it was going to be determined. But I knew what we needed to do for all of our people to benefit the most from the MVP competitions at every level. I knew we needed to have the company be able to have it measured always, so twice a week, everybody knew exactly where they stood. I knew people needed to, because people are going to go, you mean I'm number 8 in the MVP category? Trust me, only the top 2 in these categories really knew where they were at. Everybody, I just knew we had to do these things. I knew we had to meet the right people at the home office to do we just had to know the right people somewhere that would do all this stuff for us, as long as we never told anybody. And we got all this stuff done. And then I even added stuff at the end that is going to make everyone in here and out there 50% more money than they were going to make before. And we'll share all the formula using I think we had 5 in there competing. We have, I know at least 4 of I haven't seen all of them, but at least 4 of the top 4. They are all going to make all of us proud. They are all, I was talking to McNeil's about how vital it is for RVPs to have success, new RVPs to have success. It's how you create belief. People got to know that when they go, that great things happen for them. And all the people that aren't RVPs yet need to know, they need to witness it, they need to see it. And so we got 4 that that's competing. I'm super, super proud of. But I just wanted to come up here and just let everyone know, none of them knew how it was going to be decided. And they still don't even know yet. But it will be, the formula will be shared, because on the new updates, everybody on Telegram is going to see all the categories everywhere of how it's done. And then you're going to go, oh my, I'm going to get really serious about learning that one thing Shane wants us to learn, because it's a lot of money. And so anyway, I'm proud of everybody that competed in that category and that they put up and dealt with me without having even any idea of how it was. It just isn't how it has always been. Okay, so anybody that assumed that it was going to be that way, they're really surprised probably. But anyway, I'm proud of all of you, proud of wait till you see how close the competition was when the formula is shared. And I guess we're in a publicly traded company. I don't get to do what I always used to do and just do what I do. I now actually have to get permission to recognize people now. In Primerica, that's how it is, because, you know, if you're going to say somebody's name, And you gotta get permission to say their name, right? So anyway, I know these rock stars are gonna let me use their names. And they feel no undue duress as I explain this, so that they feel guilted into having to say, yes, you can use my name, Shane, because I know they're winners, so they're just going to say, use my name, Shane. But I got to get their permission. And when we do, we're going to share it all, and then you're going to understand how big of rock stars they are. So I just had to come up and say that for those four. Or there's five, but there's four that were really competing, and you'll see those numbers. And when I come back up in just a second to close everything and talk about what's coming next, you're going to want to pay attention to the totals that we post with this new stuff, because everybody has a chance to compete and win at this stuff, right? So turn it back over to the best reader of the MVP info.
Okay. I think what that meant was we're working on that, and it was still awesome. Okay, so so anyway, we have one last one, an RVP and above MVP, right? And again, this great leader, he's been up here a million times. He's got this thing, kind of momentum going with this. One of his recent accomplishment is he has pushed over 450, almost now 500 team licenses, 125 in his base. Just recently promoted 5 new RVPs, 10 new RVPs in the last 12 months in his whole team. A big-time player. One of the greatest things I'm proud of is he's now in the Midwest developed our second $1 million earner in this area. $1 million earner number 125. Wall of Fame. Let's give it up for the developer of 2 MVPs, the RVP MVP, Tom Rice.
Great, congratulations. Yep. By the way, we want to get all the MVPs here together, and we want the guest speakers in there. Don't stab anybody, please. Okay, so as we just try and get, like all the pictures of the people going across stage, those will be shared on Telegram. They're also on Facebook on the Future Firestarter RVP. People can tell you where to go search to get that stuff. There is where the and there's photos over here too. Maybe. Well, tomorrow you're going to hear from every MVP tomorrow, okay? And just like those, I'm telling you, you guys blew me away. I needed to go backstage, meet with some people with the seed loan program and stuff while the top recruiters at each level were speaking this afternoon, and I couldn't leave. I had to I wanted to hear every one of you. I'm so proud of all of you that spoke today, all of you that will be speaking tomorrow. It will be worth out there, hearing these folks, how they doing, what they doing. I promise you're going to learn some stuff tomorrow. And I'm just going to keep you up here as I make my closing comments here, okay? Tomorrow, okay, we have what we call Beyond the Business at 8 a.m. in the morning, which is basically a non-denominational worship service. I went off on a tirade, I guess, 2 weeks ago when we had the Leadership Council retreat. And after that, Jody came up, who's in charge of the Beyond the Biz and organizing that, and goes, you need to do that at 8 o'clock on Saturday. And I go, what? I didn't have any idea what she was talking about. And then she told me the two things, and I went, oh yeah, haven't I told everybody that? She goes, no. And if none of everybody, I go, okay, I'll tell everybody that then. So if you want to come hear me share a couple things that I do think are extremely impactful, no matter what your faith you do have, don't have, background, any of that, I'm going to just tell you two very truthful things to where I think your belief will go a little bit up when you see the things I deal with, have dealt with, and overcome. So I just think it will be good that what we have covered there, that will be over by 8:45, 8:50, okay? So, and by the way, Pastor Lee, do we have the ability to stream at 8 a.m. too or no? We do? Okay, so if we do, you can invite people. I encourage y'all out there to invite some folks to hear how real we are on these subjects, right? That's all an optional thing, right? So that's at 8. 9:15. Okay, so we'll probably start letting people in here 9 o'clock, but I think we'll let them out in the front foyer before that because it's going to be a little bit chillier. God ordered the perfect weather for everybody that got them jackets to be able to wear in the crispy air. Okay, so at 9:15, I strongly encourage you to invite mama, daddy, mom, everybody. To 9:15, that first hour tomorrow is going to be extremely impressive and belief building. And I'm going to go through some details to prove and help every one of you and everyone out there understand some of these details about our hybrid economic model. It will help you understand how incredible our unfair advantage is on business opportunities out there, okay? But then you're going to hear from Nate, who 16 years with Wells Fargo management leadership there, and him spending, it was a lot of time recruiting him to try and get him to come to here to help build the mortgage program they had. And I want you to hear from why would somebody with a big, well-known bank like that has a great career going, why would they give that up and start over cold turkey here to build this? I promise you it will build your belief. I don't know how many old folks from Wells Fargo that you know, but it would be good for them to pay, tune in and hear what he's got to share. We got some big announcements about the Seed Load program. Exciting stuff with that. And you're going to, I believe, see a true life example of what will happen to every human being you know in the next 24 to 36 months, if it hasn't already happened, and what we are going to do for them versus what a broker, a mortgage broker or a mortgage banker is going to have. Real life situation, human being, just tonight worked the stuff up. You're going to see that tomorrow there. You're going to hear from, all this is in the first 58 minutes. You're going to hear from Eugene, and I don't care how long you've been in the business, how new you are in the business. You are going to go, holy crap. All 123.6 trillion is better off invested here than where it is. And they're the ones saying it. You're going to be blown away. So I would encourage you, if you got somebody, like I did a recruiting appointment Wednesday, 12:07 p.m. from that person. He's an executive at Ericsson, software engineer, okay? And he's like, why would somebody that's near retirement, why would you be interested in recruiting me? And I said, for an encore career, you're in a situation you will just being active in something that's fun, that you enjoy, making the world a better place, helping people that you know, people where you work, just your own stuff, what you can learn, you will love. You'll want to plug into at least the part-time training program just for your own stuff. And he goes, I got a question for you. I wound up spending another 40 minutes on the phone with him. He has $2.8 million there at work that he wants to know, was at work, that got 1 million and 1 million moved into 2 variable life insurance policies. $2 million he dumped into life insurance policies. By the time we were done, he was in tears and excited. I go, I know you feel like you got 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake. You're going to blow up. That's why you need to tune in Friday, have your wife, anyway, so I don't know if they're still even on. But those folks, you need to think about who have you talked to that has money, that anybody, that first 58 minutes will be the best 58 minutes people could experience. Invite mom, grandma, everybody to get on so they understand what you're doing and they realize that cool. Whether they do it or not, they know what you're doing is cool, and there's going to be a whole lot more people that they're going to want to be sending your way. So that's going on in that first hour, okay? And then we got great stuff for the rest of the time period, more recognition and stuff. Our business is simple. Our business is simple. Okay? Part of that simple, other than you only need to control you and that's it, is more next win. All you got to do is get more people to the next event that you can plug them into virtually or physically, and then make sure you win at that event. Okay? There's a whole lot packed into that, but it's magical. That was a big part of how we always exploded everything before, and going to explode it again, and it's just going to happen faster than it ever has. And people are going to make literally at least 10 times more money than any other time in the past by plugging into More Next Win. So, the next is June 14th. The competition is only April and May. It's a sense of urgency. Your leaders will talk to you more. That's a Wednesday. You're going to learn more about that. So it's not this. It is 4 hours of intensely focused people that are serious and want to be able to accomplish what Dawn and Bree have done as fast as they have. And it was another part of our explosion. It's the stuff that you hear Tom talk about, where he brought a carload down on one Wednesday, then it was bring down a couple vans, right? Then it was a bus, then it was 2 buses. One of the times when it was like 4 buses, 1 bus broke down, so they put 96 people on 1 bus, came on down. But it was a big part of the explosion on that More Next Win. We're going to use the technology and the stuff in person, and you all get a chance to compete at that. You need to ask your regional vice president how you can help them win at that event. They all have a way to do it, whether it's in the top 10 or it's competing against somebody a team one-on-one, but you need to ask them for that. I promise you, good things will happen if you do that. My thing right now, what I'm going for that event is for every regional vice president that is plugged into our culture to be able to tell me exactly what they're going for tomorrow when I ask them. Okay? So there's regional vice presidents that ain't going for something, and so you can do them a lot of good by asking tonight, hey, what are you going for and how can I help the team win? Okay? So you can get them moving down the right track. I promise you, magic happens when everybody's flying the same direction and competing to win. I guarantee you, if Derek was not talking about winning, was not going towards winning, he would not have attracted competitive people like Dawn and Bree that want to compete and win at something. I guarantee you, when he was talking to Dawn's dad, what's your dad's name? Donald, okay? Does people call him Don or Donald? Coach Mack. Yeah, because if I didn't call him Coach Mack, I'm probably going to get smacked, right? Okay? So don't tell me to call him Donald, okay? So Coach Mack, one of the things I guarantee you Coach Mack was excited about was he was talking about winning and how his son could win. Winners want to win, right? I was so fired up. My first opportunity meeting, not from the opportunity meeting, from the meeting they did after the opportunity meeting, where the person running the meeting gave out a green t-shirt with white letters that said Super Greenie on it, and it gave out like 2 payday candy bars. I was in. My sporting career had been over for 2.5 years. I missed the locker room. I missed the chance to compete. It was that attracted me, and it's that we used to explode. How many people would like to override me, Dawn, Bree, Derek, and Shakora? How many people would like to override them, right? If you ain't going for something, if you ain't competing, they walk in and out of your life. You've got to be competing, okay? So we've got that June 14th. I wanted to have something for tonight, okay? And I have been, Mary can tell you, and Sam can tell you, when we did the walkthrough over at the place yonder for the Leadership Council retreat, I showed them some videos. I showed them from stuff that I've been working on all around the world that I think is the coolest stuff. Mario is begging me, Super Mario. Mario's actually making $6 million a year from his code. I mean, but he was so geeked about what we gonna start doing for our people that really compete. He goes, you just gotta let me in on it. And I go, I'll let you in on it, but not till we do it first, and then you can get it. We will, even though I couldn't have it here tonight, I have been guaranteed we're going to have and be able to start on June 14th. We will have the stuff. And trust me, you want to be competing and you want to be having your leader helping them. You're going to be helping them compete and win. All right? Close with this. I promise you, look, man, I've been able to keep doing what I've been doing since January a year ago, right? And some people have to still kind of be shocked. The dude just keeps showing up, keep going down the rabbit hole at least 3 times in every conversation. never finishes the idea that he started. So I don't know if his brain was that way before he got that brain infection or if it's part of the brain infection. But I think you're all starting to realize I'm serious about what I'm doing, okay? I'm called to do what I'm doing. I believe everything that I'm saying. I believe we're going to have the biggest impact for good in our country in so many ways, okay? So, the next 16 months, 10 days. No, I ain't quitting in 16 months and 10 days. I don't intend on getting sick again in 16 months, 10 days. I don't know when he's going to call me home, but I think he's going to let me live here for probably another 50 years or until we all get beamed up together, right? But for everyone that will get sold out to plugging in for the next 16 months and 10 days, then we're going to have the momentum rolling. Then it's going to be fun what happens after that. But it's going to be a blast for the next 16 months and 10 days for those that get fully engaged and fully involved. We got a whole bunch of financially independent people, okay, right? My big thing that I close all my meetings with is I'm doing what I'm doing because I want to move 150 leaders from financial independence to financial impact, okay? I promise you, you get sold out, you will have more fun, more joy, more genuine you're going to feel like $1 million about yourself, okay? You're going to know you were a part of the biggest movement in the history of our company, and in our company, it's the most important thing in our country, okay? It ain't going to be easy. I'm going to be in your face. I shouldn't say this, but my grandfather, I'm going to get up your butt and around the corner. Don't know really what that meant. I just did not want that happening. So I was being coachable. I want to give everybody a hug. I've done everything I can to be as nice as I can to get all of us pulled back together, going the same direction at the same time, okay? It's time to get serious now. I've been doing it because I just know you will be happier participating. And it ain't because Dan and Jody are going to go from, like, you know, she made like whatever that was, $42,000 last month or whatever. And it ain't going to be because from what we do that she's going to make $420,000 in a month, not very long at all after the 16 months. Might happen before the 16 months and 10 days. It ain't going to be because that $420,000. It's going to be because Dan and Jody are in the fight, in the game, having fun, competing, making the world a better place as they get to making that $420,000 in a month, okay? And modeling for their kids how you keep fighting and you keep getting better. The last thing I want to say here is I promise you, and most of you, well, the leaders know how I've been talking about it. Listen, I want all of our children, all of our grandchildren, I want them to go chase whatever dream they have, right? Isn't that what we all want? We all want them to go chase that dream. And we want to put them in the best position possible to achieve that dream, right? We've had a lot of Primerica kids grow up in Primerica and just because of the environment, win a bunch of national championships, state championships, singing. Primerica kids just win, right? But then there's adult life, and they're going to go have their professional life. And I want them to go chase that dream. I don't want every kid to think they need to be doing Primerica. What I want is for every kid to know there is something in mama and daddy's business that I would be better at than mama and daddy, and I can make $250,000 that they wouldn't ever make in that area, helping the overall business, helping a lot of people, and I'll make at least 250 or 500 grand and make the family business worth more, so when mom and daddy kick the bucket and I inherit it, it's worth a lot more. But the reason I believe I've experienced the things I've experienced in my life is you have kids that do not, it's not fair for them to feel mama's shoes or daddy's shoes, right? They need to have their own thing that is cool for if they're a T, an S, an R, an A. We're putting all that in place. I'm hiring people to make sure we have everything there so that your kid can kick butt at their dream better because they know they don't have to win at that dream financially. If they are in any business, working at any job, they're an engineer, whatever, and if they know at a drop of a hat they can come back and do something that's cool, that everybody will think is cool, but it fits them, and they can go make 250 or 500 grand, do you think they'll be a little bit more relaxed at work? Do you think that they will do, they have confidence to know they don't need to suck up, they don't need to beg, they don't need to nothing. They can say, dude or dudette, I'm only here because I'm good at this, and if you ain't real nice to me and let me do what I want to do, how I want to do, then I'm just going to take all my skills and talents away from you and go back here because I can make $500,000 at home whenever I want. And it ain't something that's given to them, it's something that they create. Look, man, I promise you, what we're all putting in together, we need everybody sowing in their seeds. Give 100% of yourself, and you got 999 more people giving it back to you. Magic is going to happen. I don't want you to miss it. I don't want anybody out there to miss it. I want you all to contribute to it. It's going to be unbelievable. Ain't going to be easy, but it's going to be fun, going to be worth it, going to be rewarding. See you in the morning.